Can you smell what Sean is cooking?
What am I cooking, dude?
Burgers, because you're on that keto diet. Keto kid. Hashtag keto kid.
I'm keto kid, dude, but I've been cheating.
You've been cheating?
I've been cheating.
What have you been eating? Sugar?
Well, you saw me the other day. I had
Just
a pita.
Straight sugar.
No, I haven't had any sugar.
Sugar.
Even these monsters that I'm drinking is
There's not that many carbs in it.
There's
It's not
nothing.
carbs. It's like you can still have carbs.
I got 1 gram of or 2 grams of erythritol, dude. That's it, and that's fine. That's just like sugar alcohols. You shit them right out, dude. It's true. It's true. Hey, Matt, who's this sexy motherfucker sitting next to us?
This is Darren.
How you guys doing?
They're all doing great.
I mean,
This is episode 10 of the Board at Home podcast. We got our boy Darren, the hunter camper.
Diesel. We got Diesel in the house.
We got Diesel in the house, dude. The hunter extraordinaire. Special podcast. Our first guest on the Board at Home podcast, dude. How's it feel?
feels good. It's
Feels-
kind of a little weird, like I said, with the cameras, but
It's a little weird.
Once we get into it,
You get used to it.
The funny thing is he's trying to get into YouTubing and vlogging
Yeah.
for his camping trips. So he's got to get used to it.
You gotta get
this
used
is
to
this is like the first step.
First step into it.
It's really awkward. You should like my first. I always talk about like my first videos, my first stuff on YouTube and stuff on Twitch, and it's like really, really bad because it's super awkward to have those first experiences. But it ain't no big deal. Forget about the fucking cameras and the sexy ass ring light and the autofocus webcams, dude. Forget about it.
Forget about it. Forget about it, you
talk it.
motherfucker, you.
What are you drinking? Strawberry Ritas?
It's cherry.
Oh, you mixed it up.
It's I just mixed it up. Got a little cherry going on here.
And my alcoholic beverage here.
It's just milk. I'm just drinking milk. Cherry milk.
Matt drinks milk.
Remember
dude.
that shit they used to drink when you were a child? It was like you got a little syrup. Instead of chocolate, they had different flavors. They had like raspberry and like cherry that you could put into your milk and like stir it up.
I do remember, yeah, like
It
Nesquik.
was, never had that?
No.
You never had any of that?
No.
Dude,
Just
feel like
the
that's-
strawberry milk one. That's it. That's
the
only one.
you got the strawberry milk
That was
one?
the only one I've ever heard of, though.
It was weird, man. I don't know how I feel about it.
I
Like,
used
it
to do
kind of
that
makes me
shit.
sick thinking about it. My childhood, I had a lot of weird taste buds. Like, I used to eat ketchup sandwiches. Like, just straight up white bread and
That's
ketchup.
broke life, dude.
Dog, it's poor life.
That's poor.
I didn't grow up East Side Rich.
That's street life, dude.
Dude, ketchup, I've loved it, though, man. I loved it. Like, sometimes I'd let the sandwich sit there for too long, so the ketchup would kind of, like, moisten the bread. So,
Yeah.
like, when you went to go grab it, your fingers had little pieces of bread, like a fingertip bread. It was kind of disgusting.
Yeah, that's pretty gnarly.
It's all right, though.
I know what
liked
you
it at
mean,
the time.
though. I think most people experience that with, jelly on peanut butter and jellies.
It's a little bit different.
I never really had. Well, no, it's the same shit. It like seeps
like
through the bread.
The finger thing?
Yeah, the
okay.
finger thing.
I thought you were talking about like the weird food choice.
No, the peanut butter and jelly I think is a very kosher. Well, not technically. It's a very normal food choice. I guess I never had straight up.
Ketchup sandwich.
I never had straight up ketchup sandwiches, but I had like ketchup with fried egg. That's something my parents used to make.
That's not
Which
as
is
weird.
pretty much
that
as
sounds good.
it's
I'd eat
pretty
that.
it's pretty
It's
good
not
and
as
it's still
weird.
pretty cheap.
It's
So
kinda, I mean, like you're
As-
weird. But as an adult, you eat eggs, rice, and hot dogs. Like that's a meal for you.
well, when I was trying
yeah,
to like
that's what I say.
No,
he
no,
comes
no,
over,
no.
he's like, "Do you
Little
want some?" I'm like, "No."
you got it all
I'm
wrong.
right. I don't need any rice, eggs.
You got
and
it
hot
all
dogs.
wrong, boys.
It's like a stir fry. It's like Sean's stir fry.
He's lying to you, Darren. That's not. I mean, I ate that, but I want to make it
Dude.
very clear. It was a
What?
budget thing.
Okay.
It was because hot dogs are stupid cheap. Like you can get hot dogs for really cheap in Meijer. They're on sale when they're about to go bad next week.
You know what else is cheap?
Eggs are fucking cheap. Rice is super
Yeah.
cheap.
Potatoes are cheaper. You can get more
I
potatoes
had potatoes
for hot dogs.
too, but that was
You
my
can just-
dinner. That was
you
like,
should just substitute the hot dogs for the potatoes, and I feel like it's a better thing.
ew,
What?
hot. You,
Not hot dogs. There's no hot dogs.
Yeah.
I'm saying eggs, rice, and potatoes.
that's kind of like.
what? That's kind of what?
There's no taste there. All the taste comes from the hot dogs.
The hot dogs.
the hot dogs.
Do you season the hot dogs?
No, dude.
Do you put
just
like relish on it?
fry
So it'd be
'em,
like
dude.
you mix relish in there, like a little bit of mustard.
That all sounds terrible.
I know.
All sounds
Do you wrap it up in a little burrito?
Do that again. Can I zoom in on that? No,
You're
dude,
taking too long.
I
You're taking too
I
long.
hit the wrong button, so
It's
I got all these new
The funny thing.
commands on my computer. So for those of you guys watching on YouTube, make sure to check us out on SoundCloud. If you guys are not watching us on YouTube, make sure to watch us on YouTube, etc. We're also on iTunes. Don't be afraid to leave the 5-star review.
5 stars.
5 stars only. If you're not going to leave a 5-star review, we don't want it.
Listen, if
Darren,
you don't,
if
if you leave a 1-star review, it's fake news.
It's fake news, dude.
No, we don't. We only if it's good.
Yeah.
That's real.
We'll write in about it and get it removed. So
Yeah.
don't waste your time.
Down from America.
Dude, this week's been crazy, man. I was thinking about this yesterday. I feel like, you know what, we're 10 episodes in. I feel like every episode we talk about Donald Trump. And I'm wary of that because I don't want to just become like pigeonholed on our podcast. I don't want to talk about the same shit every week. But it's like he does so much shit every week. There's always so much news every 7 days to talk about. It's like if you don't talk about it, like you're ignoring like a lot of fucking big news.
It's like what everybody's talking about. You almost can't not talk about it because it's so ridiculous. Like all the shit he's doing.
It is ridiculous, dude.
Like, how do you feel, Darren, about the public land issue where they're trying to sell off public land? Like, because you like to hike a lot. Like, what's your take on it?
I think you got to leave that land with the public. I mean, try not to sell it off. I mean, like, some of the land has to be protected. Some of the land has to be for the people. Not all of it can be sold away.
Right.
I mean, you have to leave some of it.
I think you have to leave everything that is public already. Like, you can't sell what we already have. It's fucking... To do what? To destroy it? Like, we're already at a place where...
I feel like you should have to vote. If it's public land, right, I feel like if everyone owns it, then everybody should vote for it in a democracy. So, like... I do think it's crazy that they're proposing to just sell it off without having a vote.
Which is crazy because you look at Republicans and they're the ones that it affects the most. Most Democrats and liberals, I mean, even though you see more towards the left side than you do the right with a lot of your views.
Yeah, I can't go both ways though.
But what I'm saying is,
one way. I'm sorry, I can't go one way.
But the Republicans voted for Donald Trump. And he's the one that's trying to take away the land.
Yeah,
like
the ones that go
backwards.
hunting and wear camouflage. No offense, Darren.
Damn, man, you're not gonna catch me in camo.
The average person that uses those lands is probably Republican. You're right.
It's fucked up, man. Like I don't even go, but I don't want the land to be sold.
Yeah.
Like he goes all the time. I can't imagine what it'd be like to be in a place where you have a couple forests in America that aren't privately owned or sold off.
Yeah.
And there's not like there's giant ass pipes going
Where's
through
Where's
that
the
hold
closest
oil.
public land? Where do you go?
We go hike mostly up in the Manistee National Forest.
Which is
some
up
of
north?
it's private, yeah. Some of it's private, some of it's public. I mean, people actually live in the forest, so there's like a lot of private land.
Okay.
Like we hike a big.
I feel like
we hike a big chunk of public land, and I mean, if I were walking through there and seen someone drilling or some kind of like industrial equipment out there, that would ruin
Yeah,
it,
you'd be-
man.
yeah.
You can't have that out there.
Yeah, I've never been. I don't know if I've ever been on a public land before. I don't think I have been. I haven't been to like a national park or anything like that. As far as going up north, I mean, maybe I've been on public land, but even I can appreciate, it should stay public.
Yeah.
It's important to have that.
And you can't go back. That's the fucked up. Like once you start doing all of it, you can't just go back.
Yeah, you can't tear down.
You can't just build a pipeline through a national park and then just take. You can't just take that shit out. Like the fuck.
Yeah, it's as soon as you fuck
It's
with
there.
the terrain, you fucked with the terrain. It's over. It's not natural anymore.
The cost to take it out. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it'd be cheaper, but it'd be astronomical to stop that oil line. And then to take all of the things out and then restore the habitat to where it was without any pollution of the environment, it would be insane.
Any incidents, any
Yeah.
oil or anything leaking into it.
That always happens, though.
Unavoidable,
Yeah.
especially if you're taking out like a pipeline that already had oil in it. Eventually, someone's going to leak out into the ground, and even a little's too much.
Yeah.
It's fucked up because I was looking into fracking. I mean, you have all the fracking documentaries on Netflix.
Right.
What are they called?
Frack not. I don't know, man.
No, I forgot. No. They're really good, but Oklahoma is going through this crazy earthquake scenario where they're having like an insane amount of earthquakes because of fracking, and there's something like a couple hundred
That's
earthquakes
a lot.
a year. Oklahoma doesn't seem like a place where there should be earthquakes. Tornadoes, maybe. Earthquakes, no.
Yeah.
I wonder what like the amount of earthquakes they had pre-fracking.
Yeah.
Like how much has it gone up?
I wonder. Do you know this is because of fracking? That there's more earthquakes because of fracking?
Mm-hmm.
They had a documentary about it.
Not a documentary, but people have published articles.
I feel
about
like as soon as we find out that something we're doing is causing earthquakes, we should stop. Like
They
I don't care
want
what
to.
it is, dude.
Too much money, man. There's too much money in all of it.
Yeah. One thing in regards to money that happened this week that I thought was really appalling, not to make the whole stream and the whole podcast about politics, but I read that apparently Jeff Sessions, the new Attorney General or whatever his job is, he immediately signed reform to reinstate private prisons because under Obama administration was trying to get rid of private prisons.
Yeah.
Because the idea is that if prisons are private in their businesses, then you put more people in prison to make money from the government.
Yeah, it's an incentive to arrest people.
It's an incentive to arrest people, which is why you see so many people on marijuana charges and things of that nature. Small offenses going to prison because they make money off them. So Obama said, okay, we got to get rid of this, and started hitting those steps to get rid of private prisons and legalizing marijuana specifically. Jeff Sessions apparently immediately started pushing a bill to start privatizing prisons again and unlegalizing marijuana.
We have the
Like
most
reversing the marijuana stuff now.
I did not hear about that.
That happened the other day.
bummer.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard that they're trying to really crack down on marijuana laws.
Yeah.
They want to they're taking a step back, which is ass backwards, man. Like the general population, regardless of what side you sit on, can agree that marijuana is not a category fucking one. It's not heroin, man.
Yeah.
It's not oxycodone, dude. It's not the same fucking thing. And to see these old fucks that went through this whole like reefer madness shit, they might not even believe it. They might be smoking weed, but they're just making so much fucking money that they don't care what they're willing to lock people up because they smoke pot. It's stupid as fuck. Privatizing prisons is ridiculous. You can't make a business out of sending people to jail. That ruins people's lives. But you have an old white motherfucker sitting in there dictating what everybody should be doing.
Yeah. It's all money, dude.
Dude, it's fucked up.
Not to mention, look at all the money that could be made even by the legalization process for recreational use. I mean, look at Colorado. Colorado's got to be making money.
They are.
Having been there, even, I mean, like, all right, so downtown Boulder, I went to get a half.
Mm-hmm.
Price was double than it was outside the city. I mean, they're making money down there. Even, like, it was $100 difference.
And crime rate's gone down.
Crime rate went down.
With fatal car accidents. Or DUIs, my bad. So DUI incidents has gone down. But the thing is, the big pharma can't make money off of it. That's why, if there was a way for big pharma to completely monopolize the marijuana market, they would have done it.
Yeah.
And then you would see marijuana being legal because they could do it. But like, as it is right now, you can't. There's no restrictions on a fucking plant. Like, you can't make a plant.
Yeah.
You can't patent a plant or however big pharma goes about it.
Because even if
What are
you
you
patent like certain strains of marijuana, and I don't even smoke, but as I understand it, if you basically patent or make legitimate certain strains, somebody else who is not in the system is going to make a better strain, and it's just going to continue to get sold on the side anyway.
Yeah.
I read that apparently in Denver, in Colorado, the state, there's like $1 billion worth of profit on marijuana last year, and it's all not going to big pharma, and that's the big problem, is that these huge companies are missing out on that gigantic revenue, and that's probably what we're seeing. That's why we're seeing people trying to pull it back.
It's fucked up because part of the problem is that there's still some pushback on the marijuana in Colorado. Even though it's recreational, they can't deposit that money into a bank. Banks won't accept marijuana dispensary money. So they have cash. They have fucking armed military personnel around the medicinal...
The dispensaries.
not medicinal, but the dispensaries to guard the money. There's been some robberies, but now you have all these ex-Marines and soldiers and shit with rifle. The guns don't matter. So, but you have military personnel, ex-military personnel, guarding all of this shit in Colorado. You have enough of those dudes, and now you have like this weird kind of marijuana militia protecting this money that they can't do anything with. They can spend it, but
yeah, it's weird times. It's weird.
It's weird, man.
It's weird. How do you feel about it, man? What do you think?
Because you've
What's
been there.
What's the solution?
You've been there. Is it weird? Is it weird walking in?
Dude, it's my first like legal transaction was super weird. Paying with it with my debit card. Like,
That's so fucking crazy,
weird, man. But like even going in there, I mean, like it's weird initially walking the door because you know they take your ID and then that's how they call you and they pull your ID back down, send you back in the room. People in there were super knowledgeable. Like it was immediately like going in there and talking to like an old buddy who just had a ton of knowledge to tell you, and you just get there and you just listen to him talk, and it just comes back to that normal feeling where you just walk out and then you're like, oh yeah, you know, get some groceries, get some weed. Like it just becomes a normal errand at that point.
Was the weed any better than?
Yeah, it was
it?
good. It was good.
Good or like
It was
significantly
like,
better
like
than
THC
regular
content
weed?
was like 25%.
Did you get
Go ahead.
what? Did you get any of the crazy shit like that was like 3,000 milligram like
Well,
fucking
it's
Death
expensive,
Stars?
isn't it?
Well, they do have a rule where they do still have medicinal laws.
Yeah.
And their medicinal laws, like you can get way better bud if you have your medical card in Colorado.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like you can still get a medical card in Colorado.
Yeah.
And their medical patients get bud with like a higher THC content.
So
It's recreational is limited. You can only get like X amount. I think it's like 25%.
So the legal stuff is like not as good as the medical stuff.
Is California the same way?
Well, Cali's only medicinal right now.
No, it was.
I've never been there when it was recreational.
Okay, so at this election, that was one of the things that happened is they made recreational marijuana legal.
In California?
So, yeah, in California.
Okay.
The Joe Rogan when they did the what was it called? And whatever. They did a podcast on the Donald Trump election, and that was one of the things that happened during the election was that California got voted for recreational. So like when you go there, now you got a second place to go. And I don't know what California's restrictions are. Maybe you're gonna get some shit that like
well, it's probably
you're gonna be
state.
sitting in the bathroom looking at a fucking cartoon fucking movie inside your toilet.
Inside the toilet.
Man, no. Northern Lights, man. Well, see, that's the great thing about the strip that I'm planning because now that California is legal, Oregon is legal, and Washington's legal. So we're hitting all these states.
So where are you going?
We're going to tour the Pacific Northwest. We're going to do some glacier climbing and Olympic. Hopefully.
Fucking glacier climbing, Matt.
Yeah, he showed
me.
me.
Get my permits. Yeah, I showed him a video of some other people doing it, but
fuck that.
If I can get my permits, I got to apply by a certain date. If I can get it. Yeah, we're climbing Blue Glacier. We're going to get up there to, I think it's called Crystal Pass.
That's so sweet.
We can't summit the mountain because you actually have to, like, know vertical climbing. And while I've done, like, a small amount of climbing, I can't actually do that yet. But I think if we tie together, get some ice axes and some crampons, we can actually. Like,
that's so
he
fucking
says it.
cool,
He said, like
man.
you see how calm he says that, but then I see videos of like the place that they go, and they're like you're walking across this glacier, and there's just a fucking hole that goes.
crevasse.
Yeah. You don't even know how deep that shit is, but like if someone falls, even if you're roped together, it's like. You might all be fucked. Like everybody.
Yeah, dude.
I'm like,
He's just smiling.
yeah. He's like, just because he loves that
it's
shit.
worth the risk, man. Like to get out there and. Like,
I
feel that
agree.
one
I
with
know the
that
life.
mountain.
I don't know the glacier climbing life, but I understand going
This will
out
be
there.
our first one. Like we've seen some permanent snowfields.
Yeah.
We went to Isabella Glacier in Colorado.
Right.
But this is like what you typically think of when you think of a glacier up the side of a mountain. The great thing about it too is Mount Olympus is under 8,000 feet. I mean, trust me, it looks like the mountains that are 14,000 and plus in Colorado.
Right.
But we don't have to deal with altitude sickness either. So like the whole walk up the glacier is going to be smooth sailing. At least, you know.
Dude, you got to
That's
record,
what
man.
everyone says.
Oh yeah. I'm going to have the it's going to be like once I get this vlog up and going, this will be like the first special that I do. This whole trip. will be
Yeah,
coming out.
that'd be sweet.
You guys footage from the California trip?
Colorado.
I thought it was California.
The Ridge Walk?
Yeah.
That's Colorado.
So, explain the ridge because the
All right.
ridge walk, like it's those like it gives me the same feeling that those videos when you see the free climbers climbing on top of like a big 72-story building or something, or like on the edge, like that's the same
That's the
feeling
same
I got
feel?
as.
Well, before we tell that story, I do want to include our Twitch chat because we got somebody that was clarifying about the California rec laws. He says that, and his name's really hard to read because it's white on white. San Jose and many other cities have banned rec sales until new laws can be put on books, because they want to make sure that all taxes and fees are going to the city and not the state of California. So the states legalized it recreationally, but not every city allows it recreationally.
Oh, okay.
Because of taxes. So that's another, when we're talking about where does the money go. It's such a big corporation, such a big market that they're still, I guess, trying to figure that out. So thanks for that input.
If it was up on if it was federal law, then it would be so much easier for everybody to allocate where the monies go.
Yeah.
Where the money goes.
There's like a federal tax on it or something.
Yeah, but since federal is still, it's illegal, in states saying it's legal, you have this weird battle going between each other, and you don't really, you're like, what can we do?
Yeah.
And that's where...
I wonder where the laws go in that sense. Like, if you... I don't know. No, I've never even been to California, but, like, I don't know. If you're in San Jose, and then let's say the next city over is Los Angeles. I don't know.
Yeah.
But let's just say, for the sake of conversation, if it's still illegal to sell in San Jose, and you live in San Jose, if you go to LA, you buy weed, and then, like, let's say you live in San Jose and you get caught driving with weed, like, what's their, like, punitive laws as opposed to their buying laws? Like, are you going to get arrested in a different city for having it, or what? I wonder.
That's the thing. It's no different than if you went to a different state with it. Granted,
I don't think so.
I think it'd be a harsher crime if you went to a different state that was illegal, but, like, if it's by state, see, that's weird. That's where I don't understand the law. So if it's if the state law is that it's not legal, but a city has deemed it legal, there's still some kick, because Ferndale's like that, isn't it? Isn't Ferndale has like recreational use for it if you live in Ferndale?
That's the thing. The recreational sales law and the carry law can be different. Like, obviously you can't recreationally sell weed in Ferndale, but we are decriminalized.
So you can't
get
caught.
a ticket.
So you get a ticket, but that's
civil infraction, kind of.
Okay, that makes that
you
makes
gotta be
more
careful
sense.
with that too, because Ferndale
but
places
but
said
it's
they'll turn it over.
Right.
but it's the opposite of what he's saying. He's saying that it's recreational sales, that you can have that.
No, that's what I was saying. That's what he said in
he's
chat,
saying.
was that some cities you can't sell it, and that's what I was wondering, is if you would get in trouble. But I guess that makes sense that the use of it or the possession of it gets decriminalized. So even if you buy it in a different place, you're not going to get in trouble.
Which is so much better.
But
like, because that's no different than having open alcohol. Like, if you get caught with open alcohol, you're getting arrested. Which
holy shit.
What?
Well, we've got. I hate to keep interrupting. So this guy, I guess, lives in San Jose, I'm assuming.
Oh, okay.
He said that he still has to pay a lot of taxes on medical marijuana. He says that on a $218 sale, he pays $20 sales tax for the state, and then he that pays $22 on the city tax.
So you're paying $42 per purchase?
Per purchase, yeah.
Per purchase.
Well, that's
10%.
20%.
20.
Yeah, so 10% each. 20% tax on when he buys whatever.
That's
just because of the city.
I mean, like, if it's going to good, like, if it's going to the city and it's going to, like, help with roads.
Yeah,
and
if it's
like
going to good
taxes,
shit.
I'm down for that, for the legalization.
I
and
guess
ease
so,
of
but
sale.
but when you're talking about buying it, like if you're talking about just purchasing it legally to illegally, it almost be. I mean, I'm not advocating people go out and do crimes, but it'd be, you get way more from getting it illegally. Even
absolutely.
The quality might not be as potent. It might not be as pure as the legal variety of weed that you could get, but I feel like for $42, like, you're missing out.
That's a lot,
pretty decent amount of weed.
I mean, what, like $42? That's a few bags of weed. That's like that's a
aider.
couple days worth of weed, right?
That's like a good bag. That's a good aider.
I don't know. I don't smoke weed, but yeah, I guess you're right.
I haven't bought weed since I was like a kid.
It's always gonna be like that with anything. If maybe, like, once we see marijuana fully legalized, then eventually we see crack cocaine legalized in 100 years, it's always going to be like that. You're going to get the same shit, essentially, for cheaper on the street illegally. People that aren't licensed to sell, drug dealers. You know, I buy Advil off this dude for, like, real cheap, dude. You know, it's always like that. You can always get shit cheaper on the street. Anyway, welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome to the podcast. We're talking about weed. I don't know what I'm talking about, but apparently it's expensive.
Sean's never been. Sean's never been inebriated in his life with anything. Sean's straight edge.
He says
So crazy.
He's
you
never
can get
been
a
drunk or
card.
high.
You can get a card for $60 and grow your own marijuana, I guess, and that's just cheaper.
I guess that's the way to go.
But you gotta really care about that shit, man.
Well, that's what I was about to say, man.
But once you get good at it, I feel like
you're talking about the better quality being with the legal versus going from someone off the street. That's not always true, man, because some of these guys on the street who necessarily can't get into the big business aspect of selling it care so much about their plants.
Right.
It's all organic. It's all just
Yeah,
pure love into it, essentially.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, like, you can get better from some of them guys.
Yeah,
of
I think
course.
so.
we have
I
a
guess.
mutual acquaintance that is like you could probably consider him a professional. Like when you go into a competition, I would say you're a professional weed grower,
I would say
or
so.
weed manufacturer, however you say it, and that's quality shit. Like that's dispensary type things.
Yeah, I mean, one of my buddies grows, and he's just got some fucking operation in his mom's basement, he's only growing, I don't know how much weed you get from plants because I don't smoke, chat. All right, but he's got I think 10 plants, and he like cares for that shit, dude. Like he wakes up and he turns on his little fans and he fucking angles them and he touches the leaves. He says, "How you doing?" And he fucking loves his weed.
Does he play like
And he
Beethoven,
doesn't. And
like,
he doesn't
with
even
speakers to
smoke
the
it.
plants?
He
So they're
doesn't
more
even
sophisticated?
smoke. He sells it because I don't know.
He's a card holder because it's legal.
Yeah.
It's legal where we live. So like
Yeah.
all this is legal. We're not talking about illegal activities. Like this is all legal.
Of course, right. So, but like, he got his card to grow, and so he takes such good fucking care of it. And you got to imagine that the weed's probably better. He says it's better. I guess he's tried it. He doesn't really smoke though. And everybody that buys it from him says that it's excellent. Whatever, right? Gets them high.
I mean, yeah.
Gotta put that love in it.
But
man. It matters.
the small, like the people that are just growing a few plants at a time. I mean, I imagine their shit's gonna always be better than the dispensary, unless the dispensary is really growing just a little bit at a time. So in that case, if it's really expensive, if you're paying fucking 20% on taxes for shit that you're buying from a store, you might as well just grow your own, if you really care, right?
Yeah. No, it would. I mean, once you got it over the initial cost, well, I don't know, because it's not just an initial cost. I guess you'd be paying for electricity, which is insane. Because that's how they catch people.
Yeah,
They catch people by the amount of power that they
Yeah.
have to fucking use. They go around with infrared. And
With
they,
the helicopter.
with a fucking helicopter,
Yeah.
and they see how much fucking heat. There's a Vice series where these dudes. It's called like the Dank Bank.
Okay.
And they go around and they rob those houses
Yo.
in Europe, in Britain. I think Britain specifically.
It's on TV?
Yeah, it's on Vice. I just said that.
Yeah.
So like they go around
fuck?
and you could see them, and they're in their fucking mask, and I think they have like a voice thing over.
Okay.
And they have the shit, and they're looking for because like you rob the house, they can't call the cops.
Yeah.
So they just go in there, fucking just
Give me
they
your weed.
steal their shit,
Give me the trees.
which is fucking crazy, but
That's crazy, man.
it is crazy.
Dude,
man.
it's a crazy time we're living in, boys. It's a crazy time,
It's the greatest time for all the shit that's going down. We still live in the greatest time in human history.
I
we
think
are.
so.
We do. I mean, like, at what point in all of humankind could you say that you had all of the world's information in the palm of your hands?
This is the only time.
Only time, but
Yeah.
all we do is look at cat gifs. So
Yeah, dude.
it's kind of fucked
true.
up. It's kind of fucked up.
Hey, I look at dog stuff too. No, I just look at cat gifts generally.
Yeah, it's because you're a stupid fucking cat.
Somebody in Twitch chat says, "Hello, Chris Kyle, Seth Rogen, and dude from Wayne's World."
Garth, for sure.
Yo, good
Me
times,
and Cameron
dude.
were almost Garth and Wayne for Halloween. I wouldn't even have to wear a costume.
That's what we're talking
That's
about, dude. The
fucking
greatest
dope. I like
time.
that. I like
The
that.
greatest time in human history, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, welcome everybody. Like I said, if you guys aren't here for the podcast live, you should check it out sometime. Anyway, I didn't want to take too far away from what the stories Darren were about to tell. We do have our guest on today, Darren. He's not normally here, so we did want to talk a little bit about that shit because that stuff's fascinating to me. So your trip. So you're gonna be glacial. What'd you call it? Glacial.
We're gonna hike up a glacier.
Hike up a
Traverse
glacier.
A glacier, yeah.
Traverse. 10-point word, boys.
Man, it's I can't wait. I can't wait to get out there. We're also hitting Oregon, like I said, another weed legal state. We do plan.
Yeah,
to
of course.
around, like the legality of it. We'll go to the other places after we hit the weed legal states. But
You gotta prioritize, man.
Yeah, man, you have to.
So-
You got your pit stops, you got your gas stops, you got your weed stops. You got to do it.
That walk to the glacier though in 4 days it's gonna be about 48 miles.
Holy shit.
We're walking 20 in, 8 up, or like it's 8 up and back.
I don't care if we're on the
Like,
light
that's
side
Oh,
or the
that's
dark
loud.
side.
Sorry.
As
Mike
long as we
Cock,
get
thanks
free
for the
pizza
follow.
on
Sorry about the
Tuesday.
noise, boys.
Mike Cock.
Mike Cock.
My cock.
Thanks for the follow on Twitch.
But and then it's like 4 miles up, 4 miles down, so 8 total there, and then
That's a
another
long time,
like
dude.
20 out. But this is all still hypothetical. I mean, I still got to apply for our permits, but I can't do it.
So you need a permit to climb the glaciers specifically, or
it's-
Yeah,
this,
dude,
this,
it's
no,
fucking
no,
dangerous.
No, that's not it.
the
No, I need
location.
a permit for the campsite that I'm
the
gonna
campsite?
be at.
Okay.
And I used to really disagree with the permit system, but I actually really have grown to like it because it prevents overcrowding.
Okay.
It means that when I go out there, I'm not going to see anybody. Maybe
Yeah, 'cause-
another group at one other campsite, but
But they're gonna give a shit because they're paying.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So this one's a little more pricier. I mean, generally we can go in and it's about $15 a permit, but we got to pay $8 a night per person this year. So this one's going to be a little more expensive.
But
But
you guys are already
Wait, how many
traveling
nights you
so
staying?
far.
yeah.
How many nights you staying?
They're in Olympic National Park. I think it's like 4 nights, 5 days.
4 nights.
Yeah, but
Damn.
one night, the first night we get there is going to be a car camp
$8
night.
per person.
Yeah, it's not going to be much at all. But it, also on the way to walk up this glacier, we get to walk through temperate rainforest.
That's sweet.
So-
In Oregon?
Yeah, Washington.
Washington.
Yeah, the Pacific Northwest has a lot of rainforest. Old man's beard, moss growing everywhere. I don't know, my wife keeps telling me it's where they filmed Twilight.
Well, yeah,
So it's
they
all
filmed it
them.
in Forks, right?
Yeah,
Quick.
we're going to be
Yeah.
right near Forks,
Yeah.
actually.
More importantly, what team are you, Jacob or Edward?
I honestly, I've never actually seen the movies.
Really? Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Jacob's a werewolf.
Not gonna lie to you, Twilight, the movie's not that bad, dude. Like okay, so when Twilight came out, we were in high school. I guess you might have been just getting out of high school. I remember, it's like it was cool to hate Twilight because it was for girls. But I remember one time it was just on TV. I didn't pull it up. It was just there.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I watched the first Twilight movie and I was like,
Yeah.
well, that's not bad.
Okay.
It's a little it's a little
Yeah.
it's a little fairy, but like it's not bad. They did well, It had cool color grading. It was shot well. Like it was interesting.
It's emotional.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get into the books, and I don't give a shit about Robert Pattinson, but I thought it was okay.
I'm a vampire. Stay away from me. But I
knew
love
where they
you.
shot
But
it.
I really love you, but I'm gonna stay around.
A glittery vampire, nonetheless.
You could tell the movie had an impact because I knew exactly what city they shot it in.
Dude,
I can't name any
Watch
cities.
it for the forest.
Yeah,
Yeah, just watching it for that fucking. That's a nice forest though.
that's cool.
That's
man.
when,
I've never
uh,
been to a rainforest.
It's when Homeboy takes his shirt off. The werewolf dude.
Jacob, he's fat now,
What's
dude.
his name?
I don't know his real name.
It's like Lautner. Taylor Lautner.
Taylor Lautner.
He was
yeah.
Shark Boy. He was Shark Boy in Shark Boy vs. Lava Girl.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Shark Boy.
I
Yeah.
don't think that's what he said in the movie.
That's what I imagine he said. What was he in? There was another movie like that. It was like Spy Kids.
He was not in Spy Kids, but Spy Kids was the same time, yeah. I think Spy Kids came first. And then, sorry, Waterboy, Lava Girl, whatever.
Water Boy. It's Shark Boy.
Shark
Get it
Boy and
fucking
Lava
right.
Girl came out after Spy
You're
Kids.
fucking right.
Spy Kids 3D had a big effect on me as a kid. You ever seen that movie?
Oh, I've never seen either of the movies you guys are talking about.
They were good.
Oh, man.
They were good. I remember seeing the Spy Kids and I'm like, I could be a spy.
Yeah, dude, I said the same
If those
thing.
are the qualifications for being a spy, I could totally do it.
Or what about Cody Banks? You remember Cody Banks?
Agent Cody Banks.
Agent
yeah,
Cody
it was,
Banks,
It was
dude.
like it was that kid from Lizzie McGuire. It was like her brother or something,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
He
He's
was a
gone.
fucking badass dating like 15-year-old girls when he was 9. And I'm like, yeah, he's a playboy.
I was all about it, dude.
I thought that was Frankie Muniz.
Was
It was
Oh
Frankie-
yeah,
it
it was
was
Frankie
Frankie
Muniz.
Muniz.
Frankie
Yeah,
Muniz.
good
Malcolm,
call.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, it was him.
He may have been 20 because he hasn't aged at all.
He's got Benjamin Button disease, dude.
He does. He has a reverse Benjamin Button disease though.
Which is just normal. Reverse Benjamin Button's just normal. It's just like us. Panda Jams, welcome to the Twitch chat. So, how much is this trip going to run you all together? Not to get into your finances, but I'm just curious because I might want to do some shit like that.
The whole trip, the
If
whole
you
Pacific Northwest.
factor in permits, you factor in you're driving out there, right?
Yeah, we're driving. We're taking 2 cars too. Like we're not gonna pop.
Really?
off
You're going to
4
drive
of us.
separate? Oh, there's 4 of you.
Yeah, there's 4 of us. Yeah,
Okay.
we usually go with my buddy and his girl now. It's
good.
Split the cost.
Buddy system.
All that, yeah. I mean, my buddy Austin really has like a good sense out there. Like when I get lost, usually he can point me back on the right
Navigate,
direction, and vice
okay.
versa. So it's always good to have like multiple sets of eyes out there.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
In case you get attacked by a cougar.
Comes up.
Yeah,
no,
unless there's a bear, then he does no help.
No,
He
dude.
just runs.
If there's a bear, you throw, the person's closest to the bear's got to go, dude.
We
No,
had a bear experience. We had a bear in camp.
Tell
last
your
night.
bear story.
All right. So
I want to hear this.
I'm laying in the tent. Nonetheless, we're having 40-mile-an-hour winds this night too, so I'm super scared about these trees falling. Like, so I'm already on edge. So we lay down. We just smoked a doobie. Lay down. We're in Colorado, That's what you gotta do to put yourself out. But anyways, we lay down, and all of a sudden I hear, a little. You can hear walking. You can hear something out there, and then we hear the, like we hear something making noise.
Yeah.
And I looked over at Karen and I go, dude, is that a bear? And she goes, it sounds like it. Now, when we were at Oswald's Bear Ranch up in the UP, we heard bears making these noise.
Right.
Or the noise it was making. Bro, I just yelled at my buddy. I'm like, Austin! And I heard the bear take off. So I jumped out of the tent to try and like scare it away, make sure it was gone. Didn't find it for the rest of the night. Found the bear prints though all around our campsite the next day. Scary as hell, man. It was so. I've never been so scared in my life.
So black
Specifically
bear, huh?
though,
Yeah,
Austin.
only black bear.
Black
over there.
bears, yeah.
Austin just unzips it enough to get his head out and looks around. He's like, what? Like he wouldn't get out of his tent.
So you just alphaed that bear, dude. You just yelled and the bear
That's
ran.
how you survive.
Well, it's all
That's awesome.
situational. It's situational. Like they say sometimes if the bear, they're talking about it. If the mom, if it's a female bear and she's being protective over her cubs, she's gonna attack you either way. There's no alphaing a mother bear, so they do say the best case is kind of just lay around because the bear's gonna fuck you. Hey man, I'm just telling you what some experts have said. They say it's better to do that because the bear's gonna fuck you up either way. You're not gonna outrun that bear. Like bears are fucking
They're
fast.
fast, yeah.
Way faster than I think anybody gives them credit for. And they can climb.
Well, they're faster than people,
Not
for
fully
sure.
grown grizzlies actually can't climb that well. They don't really climb up in trees. But either way, they say the bear's gonna fuck you up. You might as well just kind of just play dead and just let it get bored, more or less. But if it's a male bear and he's searching around, you can alpha that bear.
Yeah, because he doesn't know you.
Yeah, he's just trying to figure out whether or not you're gonna be a predator or prey, or if you're what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, if you're really loud,
unless he's come across humans before and he's been shot.
Yeah,
at,
unless he's killed a fucking human before.
then he knows. Then he's just all right. I'm gonna fuck you up. What's up?
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder what it is. I guess it's
What's
probably because if you're really loud and you're screaming words at a bear, they just don't even know what you're saying or doing. So it's so foreign to them that they just must be like, well, let me get the fuck out of here.
Don't know what this.
Dude, what you said is very situational. You only do that for a grizzly bear. If you lay down,
Well, lay down?
If you lay down for a black bear, a grizzly bear might leave you alone after sniffing you and stuff. No, a black bear's gonna totally different scenario. Black bears, you fight back. You muscle them back. Anything you got, you throw at them.
You punch him in the nose?
Oh yeah. That's
the universal
I draw
fucking.
a knife. I have a trekking pole and a knife.
You've done this before?
That's what I had out when I
Okay,
faced
I
this
was gonna
bear.
say, I was like, how
No,
many
yeah,
times
man.
you had to fight a bear?
No, I've never actually had to fight one, but that bear comes in and it starts attacking you. If it bluff charges, you better stand there, man.
Yeah.
Grizzly bear again, maybe. Always leave your backpack on, though. So if it gores you a little bit or comes at you, it gets to the backpack, always lay on your stomach. But a black bear, nope. That thing comes at you, you stand up, and
That's weird,
You start going at it. Pick up rocks.
I would have thought it would be the
seasonal
opposite.
too. I feel like it's seasonal.
If
If they're close to hibernation, they're going to be less likely to eat you. So because they're already
lazy
full.
and full.
Yeah, if they're on the brink of going into hibernation, if they're coming out of hibernation, you're a little fucked
Because they're hungry.
Yeah, they're looking for food, so
when they're going in, they're putting on weight too. They're looking for food then too.
Yeah,
They're
but
foraging and stuff.
they're less likely. What I'm saying is when they come
I've
out,
heard that,
they're way more
I don't trust
aggressive.
them at all. When a bear's
Well,
out,
the fuck yeah,
I
dude.
make some noise. The best way to avoid a bear is noise. 9 times out of 10, if a bear sees you or
Just yell.
smells you or anything, it's gonna go away.
Okay.
It's mostly when you startle a bear that attacks happen.
Dangerous? Yeah.
Yeah, up in Cadillac, we where we backpacked that trail I was telling you about. Girl got attacked there the year I started camping and going up there.
Well, that's nice.
She was running. It was almost dark. You gotta. I mean, like, yeah, maybe she didn't know better, but like running at dusk where there's possibly bears, I wouldn't do that.
No,
way.
dude.
That's gonna attract it with the running, and that's when they're out looking for stuff. So,
Fuck,
no way, man.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I've never had to deal with a bear, dude. It would suck because I've always heard, and I didn't know there was really, I know the differences between black bear and grizzly bear. But like, I didn't know there's a significant difference in the way you should handle them. Like, they have different temperaments, really.
Yeah.
I always thought, grizzly bears are just more violent than brown or black bears, and black bears are more about just getting berries and fucking off.
No.
I don't know. That's what I've heard, right? And so I've always been told, like Twitch chat said, to just like, if you are already being attacked, like if it's on you, just to play dead, because if it's across a field, yell at it and try to chase it back. But if it's on you, just play dead, because it'll get uninterested and leave you alone. But like, it would be the worst fucking feeling in the world to be like, okay, I've heard, play dead, and then you just like you limp, and then it just kills you.
Yeah,
because you try to do what you're supposed to do, and like doing that gets you killed. I mean, I don't know what I would do if I was really being. I'd probably try to fight back.
We should talk to Leo, because Leonardo DiCaprio, he got fucked by
Leo got fucked by that bear.
Fucking came back and then killed Tom Hardy, and spoiler alert.
You spoiled it, dude.
Might be
I was trying to see that movie.
fucking badass.
I haven't
though.
seen it yet either.
Yeah, I really
Badass
want
as
to
shit.
see it.
Got his throat cut.
I can't believe that movie of out of all the movies he's done, Leo won a fucking Oscar for that movie.
It's because they had no choice. They're like, well, we fucked him on Titanic, and we fucked him.
He fucked him on every movie he's ever
like
made.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
What's eating Gilbert Grape? Let's go back 1,000 years, dude.
Didn't he play a retard in that movie?
Yes, he was
Yeah,
so
but-
good.
But Johnny Depp was the real star of that movie.
Yeah, genuine.
But Inception, he's played a lot of
Dude.
fucking good characters.
The Revenant, you know why? Because it's about Indians and white people feel bad. That's why a movie's about slaves.
It's not a real story.
That's why
It's not even real. It was like he did get it. That dude got attacked by a bear, but he just made it back to camp.
That's what I heard.
There was no
yeah.
son that got killed. That didn't happen. He didn't kill the dude that killed his son, because that didn't happen.
Yeah,
And he didn't kill the bear.
that's what I heard.
I don't think he killed the bear. I'm pretty sure that didn't happen. And it was like in Washington. It wasn't even where they said it was.
Yeah.
So, it's
Well,
a fucking lie.
I was
It's a
watching the
sham.
behind the
This
scenes
movie's
for
a
that
fucking
movie,
sham.
this particular movie. We're talking about The Revenant.
Did he really get attacked by a bear?
Yeah, dude, that was real. They just caught it on camera. Good angles, dude. Good lighting.
It's risky.
Yeah, they got lucky, man. No, a lot of people were up in arms about the location of where they filmed that shit, because they ultimately had to film it like in the South America somewhere, some fucking forest in South America, and they had to import the snow because where they were filming was in Alaska or something, where it actually happened, Alaska or Washington, I don't know. And there just happened to be like a drought, and it was like super warm, and all the snow melted.
Oh, okay.
So they couldn't film there. It's too fucking hot. And so they had to go to a different, like, way off location and film somewhere not accurate at all. But there was a whole behind the scenes about, like, it was literally they're there filming, and like the snow was just melting. It was just like the ground was mud, and they couldn't do anything. So they just relocated. That's all I know about the movie, though. Like, and that he won an Oscar and whatever.
Which is weird, because he didn't talk for like the whole end of the movie.
Classic,
Because
dude.
his throat was slit.
I don't imagine you'd be saying much at that point.
You didn't.
Well, There Will Be Blood. That guy won an Oscar. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, but that was like.
But he didn't talk through the whole fucking movie, dude.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking
What
about?
the fuck you talking about, you stupid fuck?
Have you ever
Listen,
have you ever seen that movie?
was fucking 5 hours of Daniel Day-Lewis only talking. There was nothing else happening. That was all it was.
I'm an oil man.
I'm an oil. Yeah, he was fucking
This is
battling
a son
some
of
like
an oil man.
some like 18-year-old pastor or fucking priest.
Have you ever seen that movie, Darren?
No, I've not.
That's a good fucking movie, dude.
It's a
There
good
Will Be
movie.
Blood?
It's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
His son.
Slow.
Yeah, it's fucking. That's understatement.
Slow.
It's goddamn
Maybe the slowest
all
movie I've
plot.
ever
It's
seen.
literally 3 hours long.
3.5 hours of not much.
Fucking talking. Yeah, there's not a whole lot that goes on. It's good though. Like it. You know who Daniel Day-Lewis is.
Yeah.
Daniel Day-Lewis is. Yeah. He plays.
He's method as fuck, dude.
Yeah, he gets into it, man. He was that dude. Fucking just telling his son went. I won't even say.
The final scene in that movie, the best scene I've ever seen in a movie. I hands down, since I've seen it, it was like fucking 10 years ago now.
It was pretty brutal.
I'm like, what? Like
It's pretty brutal.
because like you 3.5 hours of just almost silence because all the moments are really intense. And his speaking is really monotone. And there's a lot of fucked up shit that happens, but there's no excitement. There's not like big music and excitement. It's just a 3.5 hour fucking shit fest of like, wow. But the last scene was so off the wall, dude. Like, I've got a milkshake and you've got a milkshake.
Yeah.
And I've got a straw and you've got a straw.
It's weird shit like that.
And then the guy's just like, what are you talking about? He's like, but my straw reaches all the way across the room into your milkshake. You hear me, boy? I will drink your milkshake. I was, what the fuck, dude? And then
don't tell him.
I won't tell you because you should see it, and everybody that's listening to this should see it. Good fucking movie. Long.
It's good though. Yeah, that part. There's some real good parts in the movie.
But the Oscars are suckers for quiet movies.
Well, one of my favorite movies of all time is No Country for Old Men, and there's no music in that.
Yeah.
It's all dialogue.
Same deal.
All dialogue, and it's far and few between in the dialogue because it's a weird action movie with no dialogue. The very little dialogue that takes place is kind of like the same sort of like real poetic, kind of dry, fucking. The only thing that's said is like things to help the plot move along. There's nothing like
very minimal.
Yeah, there's nothing that doesn't need to be said.
That movie was a lot like that movie and There Will Be Blood was of the same brethren. I think they had the same idea for tone because it's very not a lot of talking, very purposeful.
Who made There Will Be Blood? Who made that movie? Do you know? It's not the Coen Brothers because they
I can't remember.
They made No Country for Old Men. And I don't I don't think it's their style, like their style of movies like that.
They came out at the same time, I think, too. But I don't remember. Roman Polanski? No. I don't know. I don't remember.
You can look it up. You got the computer.
But my shit's I'll look it up on my phone because my keyboard's hidden.
I think I've seen No Country for Old Men. Is that? It's the movie when the dude has that weird haircut, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty
fucking
sure I've seen that movie.
Javier Bardem.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that movie.
Dude, that dude is a fucking monster. He's a fucking monster. Just starts killing people for no reason.
Probably mad about that haircut, dude.
Dude, it was the 70s. What do you mean? That was the shit. He probably looked like a playboy back then.
Yeah, There Will Be Blood got a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, but that ain't saying shit because
I know, I'm looking it up.
Justin Bieber, I believe, it got like an 81.
Yeah, Justin Bieber's. It depends on who reviews it, but it's you got to understand it's reviewed. It's reviewed within its genre, dude. That's why all those fucking animated movies always get like 99%.
Yeah, but they're owned by fucking companies that produce the movies.
The director for There Will Be Blood was Paul Thomas Anderson.
Who produced it?
Fuck, man. I think it was Paul, and then it was also Daniel Day-Lewis produced it. He also did Magnolia 1999. He did Boogie Nights. He did The Master.
Boogie Nights. That was the one with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, and he works with that's the guy that directed the Radiohead music video for the new one.
Oh, Daydreaming.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy.
Boogie Nights. That's the one with Mark Wahlberg, right? Where he's like a porn star.
I thought it was John Travolta it's from '97.
That's Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
So what am I thinking? It's got Louis Guzman in it, Burt Reynolds,
yep,
Julianne Moore, John C. Reilly,
Mark
Cheadle. Mark Wahlberg's in it.
Yeah,
Mark
Wahlberg. Like the opening scene, he's like, they're talking about him jerking off in front of Burt Reynolds. He's like asking him how many times he can go. He's like 6 or 7. He's like, really? He's like, yeah. Like, we can make you into a star.
I like good masturbation jokes in movies, dude.
It wasn't a masturbation joke. He was just jerking off for money.
Yeah, it's a masturbation joke, dude.
I never watched the rest of the movie. I passed out. It was on.
Never seen it.
Yeah,
never either.
I heard
you haven't seen a lot of movies, dude.
I'm not a big movie guy.
I did.
You don't really watch.
What about Wolf of Wall Street, dude?
No,
it's masturbation jokes.
I've been there's a lot of movies.
I've seen a
rookie numbers, dude.
Yeah, rookie numbers.
How many times you jack off a day? I don't know, once, twice. Those are rookie numbers. Gotta get those up.
like maybe 3 or 4 times a week. God, you gotta do at least 3 or 4 times a day.
He's like, dude, sometimes I just go out to the fucking bathroom and just Say it with me.
It's fucking.
That's
good.
a good fucking.
That's
movie,
a fucking funny ass movie with
Yeah, it
Jonah
is.
Hill. That's a good movie.
That's nearly a perfect movie, dude.
Yeah, it's long, but it's
No Oscar.
Fucking, it's fucking yeah. That one should have won an Oscar. It's weird. I just got him onto the YouTube. What?
Sorry, Twitch chat said that Panda Jam says I saw Boogie Nights and Mark had a huge dick.
He did. He had like a prosthetic big ass dick that was like down to here.
That's funny. I never saw
It was
Boogie
fucking
Nights.
crazy. But no, I started showing him YouTube, and
Never been on YouTube before?
No, I bet
he's been on YouTube, but he hasn't actually watched YouTube. Like
I watch stupid things.
People are on
yeah.
YouTube, but they don't watch YouTube. Like there's specific things you can search for, but like there's like YouTube channels that you know about. I showed him Casey Neistat because I'm like, if you're gonna start vlogging, this is like a guy you need to get inspiration.
That's basically
from.
the number
like,
one thing to watch.
Yeah, he is the man. He's the one that like I think people try to emulate the most. Nobody does it justice. I mean, like he has his own style, and people just kind of just try to steal from it. But like, if people did their own thing, while taking notes from him, they would be just as good.
Yeah.
There's nobody in the nature scene that's like nearly as big as Casey. Like,
There's some big nature vloggers, but they're not mainstream. They're very niche, whatever. They're in their own like community.
Right.
But like if you really like make the effort to have like high quality videos and shit, I think there's still a huge market there to have like really a lot of people be like, oh wow, I've never seen shit like this before.
because
no one
it's almost
has
like a
that.
vacation blog.
Yeah.
Like people love vacation blogs.
Right. I mean, no one really has that like for hiking and that real polished look either. I mean, like it's so easy with a lot of these guys I watch for tips or what they do, new locations, blah blah blah. I have to skim through a lot of the video and just get the info I want because I mean like it's not interesting. It's not, and that is something I kind of hope to bring to the table and at least make it so people don't want to skim through everything.
Yeah, watching a 20-minute video and then like 10 of those minutes are like one just long ass shot of some dude talking about something. It's
really hard to watch.
Yeah, you're like well, I'm uninterested. That's why watching Casey's so interesting because like it's like under 10 minutes. And he just like
does a shit ton of stuff.
Yeah, he just fucking smashes everything into those like where like he doesn't give a fuck about hitting that 10-minute mark for the extra ads. He just cares about making his content really good. Which
I think part of it might be the 10-minute mark because it's like consistently over 10 minutes, which is on purpose.
His videos are consistently under 10 minutes. I've been looking at. Since you told me about that, I've been paying attention. They're usually 8 minutes.
Oh. I don't know. I don't pay attention.
Yeah, I don't know. He just doesn't give a fuck about that.
The thing about his videos that it shows and like I think everything that we like to watch, it kind of shows how short our attention spans are as people because you look at like what's the shit people like Vines. They like fucking 6-second jokes. They like Snapchats. They like short YouTube videos and like very small memes that you can consume at once. Fucking pictures on Instagram. We have really short attention spans, so. The thing, when it comes to vlogging, something that Casey Neistat balances real well is that he doesn't have those very long shots that, he talks for fucking 5 minutes. He has 1 minute of talking, then like 20 seconds of like of montage music, and then 10 seconds of a joke, some sort of excerpt, like some shit that happened when he was walking down the street, and then maybe a minute of talking. Like you have to mix it up because people will fucking leave. Yeah. And that might be a big problem that, that's what you're saying, that nature vloggers and nature video creators have a problem with is too much drawn out shit.
Because
yeah, definitely.
You're in an environment where nobody knows and nobody like you could say all this shit. Like you could talk as to people that are in nature videos or are part of like the nature scene. But that's not going to be your main target. Like your target audience is everybody. So like to be able to come across to everybody, you have to be able to make that interesting to everybody. Like seeing how you put up a tent is interesting, but like showing a cool vacation trip would be more interesting to everybody, to everybody equally.
Well, what I want to do with it too is I want to show people that to get out and see the world, to get out and see all these places, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Like you can go out there like. It's not even going to be just trips. It's going to be DIY stuff. It's going to be some gear reviews. It's going to be just a lot of different things. And to show you that you can get out there and take these trips, for not a lot of money, man. Like you asked me earlier how much I was going to spend on this whole under $1,000, easy.
Yeah,
With
and that's
driving.
a good trip. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I drive a Ford Focus, so I'm gonna get great gas mileage. and
Fuck
all
yeah,
that.
dude! Shout out to Ford Focus, our new
Like,
sponsors.
I'm just saying, like, great gas mileage and all that. I mean, I'm saying like 700 is probably what I'm gonna spend.
That's
Food
a good
and
deal.
all. I mean, because you got to think about it. If you go backpacking or even car camping for that matter, which we'll be doing part of the trip, you got to eat when you're at home anyways. So you can't really count that as your vacation spending money because either
Right.
way you got to eat.
If you didn't
Right.
smoke, how much?
Oh yeah, well the smoking is what's gonna put it up like.
couple
Without
hundred.
smoking, actually probably even with smoking, probably like $700-800. Like we really go frugal, and since we're doing all these activities,
But
I
I'm
mean,
saying
like,
without smoking, how much do you think? It'd
maybe
be?
like $500-600. Oh well, no, 'cause
That
of
is-
gas and all that.
Cut out $100 a weed, dude.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like
around
100.
there.
But I feel like you're gonna spend.
Yeah, but that's
Hey,
what we're
Think about it. It's not like I'm at home blowing duty after
yeah,
duty.
but homeboy was talking about San Jose having a $42 tax.
Well,
on
his
weed.
his scenario, it's also medical weed. If you're just talking recreational, I mean, it's different. It's different, and you're not going to fucking California. Who knows? It's different.
No, we are going to Cali.
Yeah.
We're
Oh.
going to Redwoods. We're
I
going
thought that was-
all down.
oh.
No, it's Washington, Oregon, then the Redwoods in Cali. Like we're gonna barely be in Cali, but we'll be in there for sure. I mean, I don't know if dispensaries are gonna be in that area because we're gonna be 3 hours north of San Francisco and San Jose and all that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, we'll probably just carry in from Oregon.
But you're right. Like that's not very expensive, dude. Like when
No.
you're you know, because I'm thinking, because I like to travel a lot too, and like we just went to New York, which is very less involved than what you're doing. But you know, even I would say for that trip, I spent less money than you would think. You know, if you really know what you're doing, you plan out ahead. Like, so that's a good point. You could do that in your videos. People would like that shit. People would be interested in that.
Well,
But-
I'm also going to show how I trip plan because, like, I do take a lot of time to trip plan and research. And I mean, like, the internet,
Yeah.
like he was saying, at the palm of your hands, there's so much great info out there that you can find these cheap ways. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's so easy. It's really not even that hard.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it helps. Planning, it helps so much in saving money
Yeah,
because your trip, you planned it sort of.
months ahead, I bought
You
my
planned
tickets.
the plane tickets, which still cost you a shit ton of money. So
Wasn't that much.
how much?
Well-
How much was for a round trip?
Round trip, I spent about $600. That's for plane tickets for 2 people and a
That's-
hotel in Times Square.
Yeah, and that's
Oh,
just-
you got that's in with the hotel in Times
With
Square?
the hotel in Times
that's
Square.
but that's just travel. See, that thing is, it's like his trip is all inclusive, roughly about the same price, roughly. So when you compare the two trips,
Well, what's
it's like,
all inclusive, dude?
what do you mean?
Like
Oh, that's
the
food. It's
food
it's
money
food.
is money I would
food.
spend on food anyway.
Yeah, food. The $600, but that you spend on travel though is his almost his entire trip money that he spends on
Yeah.
all of the food, all of the fun shit that they're gonna do. Roughly,
But staying
That's
in
what
the
I'm trying to
city
say.
is what changes it. Like, all right, so last year when I went to Colorado for a week, I spent about $500 weed money and all.
Right.
So when we got back, a few months later, I took my wife to Chicago for her birthday just for one night. Spent the same amount because I got her a real nice hotel, great location, gas money driving out. When you stay
Yeah.
in the city, I mean, you take a little bit of luxury. It's
Yeah, it's more
going to
expensive.
cost a little bit more. But,
Yeah.
So I can see that for sure. But
Particularly,
600's not bad
my
for
New
all.
York trip was not a good example because
Yeah.
it's expensive as shit to
and it's
go to
only
New York.
well, you went for one day. That's
Well,
the craziest part.
yeah.
Is that it was one day.
And actually, I
and so we
saved.
did, too.
I saved
yeah,
like,
but you're gone.
I saved like $400, dude. Like that
Yeah.
trip, if I would have like planned it the week of,
Yeah.
on any particular week, it would have been like $1,000. But I saved all that money because I bought them ahead of time and got a good deal on the hotel. So anyway, but that your trip that you're taking, that you guys are planning out, that's a fucking awesome deal, dude.
Yeah, it's not
It's
bad.
not very
I mean,
expensive for 2 people.
and
Shit.
you're right. Even flying though, if you buy your tickets months ahead of time, I mean, if you go short notice, it doubles easy.
Yeah, oh,
Like,
yeah.
It's so much more expensive because we looked into flying to Cali, just doing the Redwoods. Keep renting a car, taking an Uber up to the forest or something. I mean, like if you buy it ahead of time, it would really cost us about the same amount to fly out there as it would to drive.
Yeah.
Except what would bring the cost up is car rental, and we'd be paying for that car to just sit in the woods. So why not just drive? We get to go through the Montana Rockies.
Yeah, it adds to the
It's an
trip.
adventure, yeah.
I
We're
think
staying in South Dakota too.
Flying and driving is generally the same price point, from what I can see. Like everywhere I've ever traveled, it's like about the same price point, but you save on time if you fly. That's really all
Yeah.
it is. So if you're taking a trip, and you're just gonna drive it, it's gonna cost the same, but you're gonna have more fun, I think.
Well, it makes sense too to fly to a place like New York when you can just get a taxi or somewhere anywhere.
Yeah,
you need to go. You
New
don't
York
need
is
your car.
different. Big cities are different
Yeah.
because New York, Chicago, I guess some other cities, like New York's really easy because you spend $30 and you get a week of unlimited, trains and buses.
Right.
So you don't need a car. But if you're going to Denver, you're gonna need a fucking car. If you're going out to camp, you're gonna need your car.
Yep.
Or some sort of car. So it's different. Different folks, different strokes, boys. I do wanna relay this information. We've got someone in chat that seems infatuated with Darren in our Twitch chat. Stinky Toes 999 says, "Wow, 3 hot dudes. Odd request. Can I see Darren's feet?"
That's a weird.
And then said, "If you were here, Darren, I'd be rubbing your gorgeous feet all over my face." Dude, joke's on you. Darren doesn't have feet.
No feet, Darren.
He doesn't even have legs.
I hike on nubs.
Yeah, it took us 10 episodes to get him here.
He has little nubs. He doesn't have pretty feet.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
He has a wheelchair over there, actually. You guys can't see it on camera because of movie magic.
He's got little hobbit feet.
So, we were talking about how great the internet is, and, there's the good and the bad, right? There's
You get that.
I've got unlimited information in the palm of my hand. I can find out anything, any answer to any question I have, and then you've also got the people that like feet.
Foot fetishes. You got foot fetishes, and people just trolling online, looking for feet to look at.
I think it's a fair trade, dude. I was talking to Christina about that yesterday. Not specifically the foot fetish stuff, but
Hey, man,
I was
it's
talking
whatever
to
you're
Christina because we were talking about Donald Trump, and she started, I don't know, she was listening to a podcast, she was learning all this shit about Donald Trump. Same shit we always talk about, how it's real scary because it's like history repeating itself, yada yada.
Yep.
And her whole thing was, Donald Trump's gonna ruin the country, and he's gonna pull the wool over our eyes. And I started really thinking about it, and honestly, I've mentioned this to you before, but I think having the internet now puts us in a better position than we've ever been in history. Because if you look back, and this is what makes me not scared of Donald Trump or any regime that comes in, because if you go back in history, any fucked up regime, if you look at the big ones, like you look at Hitler, you look at Stalin, you look at that guy from China, who fucking cares, you look at even in North Korea, the thing is, the people that are being affected, the constituents, they didn't have the fucking information readily available all the time. And now that we're in the age of information with the internet, with Stinky Toes and Twitch chat, we have all the information pretty much, at a moment's notice. And so it's a fucking beautiful time to be alive. I was really thinking about it yesterday, how fucking awesome it is that we have the internet. And we talk about it sometimes, the podcast and shit. But it's fucking cool because you're seeing it happen live. You're seeing Trump trying to lie about all this shit, and everybody's like, wait a second.
No,
not true. You see Trump say some shit like, oh, the crime rate's higher than it's been in 40 years or whatever, and then immediately everybody's on their phone like, no, it's not. Because we have the internet. We have all of the information.
Yeah.
It's the age of information now.
30 years ago, it's not the case. 30 years ago, you're taking his word for it, and you're like...
Because that's where you get your information.
Yeah,
it's from mouths. But now it's like you have an unlimited database of... Some information is false, some information is real, but you have the ability to learn anything, basically.
Yeah.
And communicate with anybody. So it's fucking a good time to be alive. So I'm not very afraid of Donald Trump, but she was, and I had to console her, and then... I don't know. Start thinking about how great the internet is.
Don't worry, he won't grab her pussy.
I'll fuck him up. He's 70 years old. He's going down, dude.
He's a big dude. What, he's like 6.
He is a big dude, man.
Yeah, but he has small hands.
I saw a meme this morning when I woke up on Twitter. I'd probably be able to find it if I scrolled enough. It's like Justin Trudeau and Donald Trump. Because there's this picture circulating of Justin Trudeau, which is the Prime Minister of Canada.
Yeah.
And he's a young dude. He's in shape.
Mr. Steal Your Girl.
There's a picture of him circulating because he has like his foot up on a chair, like at a fucking event, and his butt, like girls are like freaking out over his butt because he's got a nice butt, quote unquote. I didn't say that. For those of you guys listening,
He did.
I read that.
Said it.
I read that.
He just said it.
I read that his butt is nice. So I saw a meme because everybody's posting the picture of his bodacious ass. And then they put Trump's ass next to it. And Trump's got a huge ass, dude. Trump's like grossly big. He's bigger than I thought.
He's a big fucking dude.
He looks kind of normal from the front. You know what I'm saying? Like if we were living in a 2-dimensional world, he looks good. Yeah. Aside from his hair, he looks normal. But like when he turns to his side, it's like, what the fuck, dude?
He's like the fucking dude that hid the pickles under his tongue in the SpongeBob episode.
Yeah, dude.
He's like, pickles. Listen, have you? He knows what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking
Darren
about.
hasn't seen a lot of movies, but he's seen
I've
that.
seen a lot of SpongeBob.
It fucking is awesome. I saw Justin Trudeau do the Justin Trudeau's handshake versus Donald Trump's handshake. And Donald Trump would he'd grab your hand and like pull you in because he doesn't know how to handshake. So like everybody's like, they go into it like weird. And Justin Trudeau like grabbed his hand and then put his hand on his chest and like kept it right there.
Well, I think he tried to go for the shoulder.
No, he shoulder or chest. He just put it on there and like grabbed his hand. He's like shaking it. He's like, the only guy to not fall to the Donald Trump
Donald
handshake.
Trump, I think his handshake, because he had a couple memes circulating about his handshake because he met with the Japanese prime minister and they had this like really long handshake because they're taking pictures and they had really long. And as soon as he let go, the Japanese prime minister was like this, like he like looked away, and it's really fucking funny. So apparently Trump has a very dominant handshake.
Yeah.
But I think it's because he's been doing business his whole life. So I think he read the 52 Laws of Power and he's like, I need to be dominant, and he asserts his dominance immediately by like pulling you in and having the powerful handshake, which is normal. People in business do that.
Just smack him in the
Yeah,
face.
it's funny that Trudeau did that.
That's why I always, when I handshake, I always go for a real firm grip. If I feel like the guy's going firmer than I do, I adjust it to go firmer than
squeezing
him.
harder.
Yeah, so it's like a competition all of a sudden, and we're like, no one stops until we realize that there's no winner, and then you're like, oh.
Every once in a while, man, maybe once a year or something,
Yeah.
you get a handshake where like you get cucked because the other dude grabs your fingers, and you have to like go through with it because like you have like half of a
You're
hand,
like, what the fuck?
but they just go through it, so you just do this, and then you feel like a pussy the rest of the day.
Have you ever done the weird handshakes, like the dead fish and like all the weird ones? You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, like the awkward turtles.
You put your finger like this when you go to handshake, and then you tickle their.
Oh, that's what you call that, a handshake?
The inside of the palm, like.
Showed me all these at work.
Yeah, I showed him all.
I didn't know that was a
then
hand.
then you do the dead fish, where it's just like your ham's limp as fuck. They grab it and it just squishes.
I mean, I guess in high school.
There's a lot of fucking funny ones, or there's the one where you just grab the person's.
Well, I think
their fingers.
the tips of the fingers. That happens by accident.
But you
sometimes.
do it on purpose, But if you're the one that initiates the finger grip,
Yeah.
the other person will probably just go with it because they'll be like, "Oh, you just
Yeah.
messed up."
Yeah.
In your head, you're just like,
It's like missing high fives, dude.
I got you.
Yeah, I used to miss daps a lot. Missing daps is really awkward. You know, like this thing. You know, like you ever miss that shit and fuck it up?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, dude, how embarrassing.
And that's because you're not from the streets.
Listen here, everybody. Everybody listens to this podcast. And
You ain't from the streets.
I'm from the streets.
You ain't from the streets. You're from South Warren.
I'm the champ. You're the chump.
Dog, I grew up on 8 Mile. You remember for everybody that's seen that 8 Mile movie, that's where I grew up.
Oh, classic white dude.
That
Classic.
was my move.
Classic white dude from the suburbs. You seen 8 Mile? That's where I'm from.
Hey, man, people don't know where that's from.
You grew up on the other side of 9 Mile. You grew up right by where we live.
8 Mile.
8 Mile, 9 Mile.
I could show you my house, but then you know where I live. I just can't do that.
I don't want to say.
I'll just say Google Hazel Park, and you tell me that's not 8 Mile.
Darren is
That's
Matt's
all I'm
brother-in-law, and he
Yeah.
just showed him up, dude. He exposed you, dude.
I just exposed you.
I live now.
Hashtag
right
exposed.
where used
You
to
don't
live.
even live close to the hood. You lived like.
I
in
moved
fucking-
north. I made it out the hood.
Yeah, you were rich. You weren't on the streets.
I hustled, dude.
Dude,
You
you
weren't
live
on the-
closer to 8 Mile now than you ever have in your
Actually,
life.
no, I'm dead serious. When we were living in Hazel Park, we're 2 streets away.
Anyway.
You can ask Karen.
I'll have to take your word for it.
No, ask Karen.
I'll
You can text her right now.
ask her.
Text
Someone's
her
been
right
blow-
now.
Someone's been blowing me up. It's probably her.
Yeah.
She's like, "What are you
I
doing?
found you on the internet.
What are you
I
doing?
found you on the internet.
What are you doing? You're talking about all this shit you shouldn't be, Darren.
Darren.
I wish
Why
you
is
just. I wish you just get your hair cut.
Why is your sister
I wish you just
suddenly-
shave your face and get your hair cut. You'd look so cute if you just shaved your head.
Why is your sister suddenly Jewish?
Why isn't she Jewish? Or you got something
Why
against
isn't
Jews?
she Jewish?
What, huh? You got something against Jews? Huh? Are you Donald Trump? Are you gonna pull that mask off and you're really fucking gay G?
I'm PewDiePie, dude.
Dog, get the fuck out of here, you Nazi.
No comment. Is there anything else that happened this week,
You're
boys?
an
I can't remember.
anti-Semite.
I was gonna talk about.
They discovered those
Planets?
planets.
Yeah.
Seven.
There's seven. Yeah, 7 planets. People keep misconstruing what they said. There's 7 planets in the system, but there's 3 that are in the habitable zone. With
Lois Griffin.
Lois Griffin.
Said you sound like Lois Griffin in Twitch chat.
Okay.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Anyway,
They found 7 planets.
7 planets.
3 habitable.
3 in the habitable
They
zone.
suggest.
Yep. We'll never make it there.
It's 40 light years away.
We'll never fucking make it there. Oh, let's go to Donald Trump's president. We can just go meet planets. I was listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson. I've heard him make this argument other than on the JRE podcast.
No, you said JRE. That's an abbreviation for
Joe Rogan
Jogging
Experience.
Revelation.
Yeah.
As
So he's made the argument multiple times that if you can terraform a planet, you can restore anything that we do here. Like
Yeah.
if you're able to take a planet from nothing to an actual planet, just do that here. There's no reason to fucking leave this one to go to another planet. Like to have 2 planets would be ideal, but like if the sole reason to like terraform a planet is to move everybody to that planet because this planet might be fucked, then just make the planet that we're already on. If you can already do that with nothing, you can do that here with an environment that you could fix that. You could fix this environment. That's his argument. So like it's weird when people start talking about these exoplanets, and it'd be cool to find another planet already established with the ability to have life.
Yeah.
But we're already on a planet. If we just fix the shit that we already have, like
if we spent the money to just fix agriculture and shit here, I think it'd be better off just being here.
I mean, if we can get Mars up and going, start that engine.
But
get that as a second planet, a reserve planet.
A reserve planet.
And well, because like the thing is, we can do everything we want to this planet, but like if an asteroid hits us, we fucked.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good point, and I also think that the other point that needs to be made is like I agree with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse.
Whatever.
deGrasse.
Generally, I agree with him because he's way more intelligent than I am.
Yeah.
But I see the point of let's not waste our resources to go to another planet. Let's just build on this planet. But that if you look really long term and you look at like our growth as a species, we just keep growing and growing and growing. There's more and more of us.
Yeah.
Eventually, we're gonna run out of space. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so eventually we're gonna have more space. We're gonna have to build into space or build on another planet. So it's
but then you go to Bill Burr's idea, and then what Bill Burr proposes is that you just start taking out cruise ships. You just start taking out cruise ships and then put the money back from cruise ships into the cruise ship industry. You get people making jobs, making more cruise ships, and just keep taking them out.
Bill Burr for
all
president.
Of a sudden, the next thing you know, the population's far less dense and people are making their way on I-75 way faster to work, and like, oh shit, this Bill guy, he's really doing good.
Yeah.
As his skit on his new stand-up. But, man, realistically, if the population can't keep up with how it's the way it's going, you have to do something. It'd be inhumane to say that you can't have kids, but that could be.
You could never do that.
It could be a reality.
You could never do that.
It could be a reality though. Like
no, you can never do that.
They could do it at
That's
birth.
against everything our species is about.
But we can't. Maybe have an IQ test for people to be able to have a kid.
Oh, you heard that? If you're stupid, you can't have kids, boy.
You shouldn't have a kid if you're stupid. See, the thing is, the people that are the most. I'm gonna get some shit.
Yo,
for this.
let's go, dude.
There's nobody even listening. But let's be real.
That's rude.
Let's be real. The stupidest people are the ones that have the most. The stupidest people usually tend to have the most kids. The smartest ones know that it's not smart to have kids, so they don't.
Okay.
And those are the people that should be having kids. You see it all the time. You see less intelligent people having a massive amount of kids that they can't take
massive amount, dude.
Massive. Listen,
ear rape. I see what you're saying.
Listen, I'm talking in generality.
Of course. Matt's not a total asshole, boys.
I'm just a lot of an asshole.
Yeah, really, 90% of an asshole.
Yeah, 90% of an asshole. But I would say, I have friends that have kids. Shouldn't have kids. They shouldn't.
I know what you're saying. I get the point you're trying to make, but the point is, if we ever got to the point where I don't know what the max population for the Earth would be. Let's say 20 billion people, and that's all we can fit. And that's if every inch of our land is developed fully with apartments and everything. Let's say 20 billion people on this planet. You can't all of a sudden be like, all right, well, can't have any more people here.
You just gotta start killing them off. You're all right.
I don't think we're ever going to get to that point because I will probably that would take what I'd imagine to be thousands and thousands of years. We'll probably colonize somewhere in space.
What are we at? 7 billion right now?
Or we'll have some sort of Holocaust before that happens.
Are we at 7
billion? It's 7 billion just about. It's like 6.9 billion or something. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm no scientist. I don't know the numbers, but
I'm not a scientist. I'm saying stupid people shouldn't have kids.
I don't know. I think colonizing Mars and other planets would be fine if we could manage to make it 40 light years away to these planets to really research if we can live there. That'd be awesome, but they're fucking far, dude.
Well, what if you can communicate with them via some kind of like radio signal? Because we listen to the sky with radio dishes. And all.
Well, just because they're
send a signal though and communicate with them.
You
where
could.
They have
to where?
Better travel. Method.
Yeah, but to where?
You could, but they're not.
The Trappist
the thing is, okay. So here's the thing.
They're habitable. That doesn't mean they're.
Here's the thing.
Send a signal to see if they're.
That's true.
I was actually just. It's funny you mentioned that because I was learning about how long it takes for a signal to reach the moon.
Long time.
The moon, there's like a 7-second delay, and that's only like 100,000 miles away or something like that.
Yeah.
You're talking about 40
light years.
Send it while we wait. Why not?
To have a conversation with somebody would take so goddamn long that they might already be dead by the time they get the signal back. Like,
yeah.
Is it what they said? One of our spaceships that goes 23,000 miles an hour would take 1.5 million years. I'm sure the conversation would take less time than traveling.
Sending a radio signal would save time, but it's not as practical. I mean, it's not the most practical thing. I imagine they're gonna send signals out there to see if anything comes back, but. It does take a long time. They're 40 light years away,
right.
Which means that the fastest we're capable of making stuff move at 1G. If something moves at 1G, then that's like 1 light year per year. It's as fast as light. It's as fast as we can build anything. It's very expensive to build something that fast.
We can only go 0.9 or 99.9% of light. We've never gone light speed, and we've never gone past light.
Basically, 1-to-1 ratio, just a little bit slower because we can't go as fast as light. Yet. So essentially, if we put all the resources into building ships to go there, we could hypothetically travel there if there's nothing in between us and that.
Right.
But it would take 40 plus years.
Right.
So realistically, maybe 50 years to go there if we built a real, and that's a long fucking trip. You know how much food you have to have on this ship just to send
120
years, one person?
120 years for someone to say something, you receive it and send something back.
Yeah.
120 years.
It's really fucking. It's not unbelievably far, but it is really far. I mean, it's like not practically far.
I use radio signals like an example. Maybe they can send some kind of other signal. I'm not sure about.
We would have to rip some sort of wormhole.
But
it'd have to be a worm. We'd have to have a wormhole.
Man.
Well, they build them.
Theory, spend time.
You'd have to.
You'd have to. It's the only way. Wormholes are. Well, Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about that in the same podcast you're referencing as last one on Joe Rogan's, and I guess wormholes are believed to be possible once we learn how to fuck with the fourth dimension if we ever can, and that would be literally the only way because there's hypothetically there's no way to move faster than light. It's just not possible.
Yeah, because the way Stephen Hawking describes everything, he says if you look at anything under a microscope, it's like a woven material. It's those interwoven things, interlocked like that. Mm-hmm. Anything's timed the same way, but we just have no device to be able to look at it. And he thinks that you can, if you have the instruments, you could rip it open theoretically. That's just what he believes. I mean, he's like one of the smartest fucking dudes ever.
Yeah.
So whether or not that's true,
he also doesn't know how to pick up a girl though. So
what are you talking about? He's had 3 wives.
Yeah, exactly. He's been forced.
No, he divorced them.
He said
he left his wife for his assistant and then divorced her ass and went back to his wife, and he has like 3 kids.
He's sick of basic bitches. He's the smartest man on the planet.
Dog, he's a playboy.
Well, I don't know, man. I like the idea of populating Mars, putting people on Mars.
I like the idea too. I don't think anybody's against the idea, but for the reasoning being that Earth sucks, so we need to go to Mars because we're gonna make Mars better. That's not the that it won't happen that way. Like you got to make both equally as good, and it's just like one of them is a reserve planet.
Yeah.
The weird thing you get into is like who's gonna be in charge of Mars. Like what are you gonna have like the same governments? You're gonna have like Elon. You're gonna have Elon Musk.
President of Mars,
running Mars. Like he's just not gonna allow people.
If you're gonna pick somebody, it's got to be him.
Elon Musk.
I mean, who else? Donald Trump? Nope.
He's a part of Donald Trump's cabinet.
It's got to be the UN being in control of it because you have to. You can't like.
UN?
We're on Earth.
United Nations.
Well,
Fuck
I mean,
them,
we'd
dude.
have to create an international organization.
They don't even want to go though. That's
but
the thing.
You have to, man. America can't just grab a planet.
It's not America. It's
Russia
Elon
can't
Musk.
just go grab a planet.
Elon Musk. Listen.
It's not a free market.
Yeah, but we don't. NASA's not doing it. It's SpaceX. So
I know,
like
man.
they don't like fuck. See, here's the thing. If countries don't want to send their own to the country and it's Elon Musk privately funding it, he's in charge of the planet.
I mean, there's got to be rules on that, man.
What rules?
There's
It's
gotta
space.
be. There's gotta be.
You can't make rules in space. There's nothing you can do. No one owns the moon.
Yeah, I want a fucking planet.
Go fucking if you found a planet and you're able to just go there, that's your goddamn planet. There's no one that can go there.
Dude, there's gotta be.
There's nobody that owns the oceans. The oceans are international territory. No one owns any of the Pacific.
But there's gotta be a rule in place. There has to be.
There's not though.
There has to be.
There isn't.
Some sort of rule, like so. Elon Musk is running Tesla. Tesla's the SpaceX. SpaceX. His conglomerate of companies are the ones funding the space exploration. There has to be a rule against him just owning a planet and owning the rights to it. There has to be.
Who's gonna stop them? They would have to build. They would have to build a ship. Send people to the planet to stop him, and he'd already be there. He'd be like, "Well, we're just not gonna let you on the planet because we have the only landing pad."
Get off.
I mean, I know. I mean, like that sounds like it's possible, but there's gotta be.
There's
rule.
not. See, that's what's
no
crazy. There's
way.
not. There's not. The only thing that you could think of is whoever lets him use the launch pad could strike a deal with him and be like, all right, well, we want a certain amount of territory.
Isn't the government allowing him to use the airspace to even shoot the rocket? There's some sort of give. Somebody's allowing him to do something.
He can go wherever he wants to. He makes deals, or he pays for people, or pays people, or makes deals with
Twitch chat says there are space laws. I've read about space laws existing, but I don't know what they are.
Who's gonna enforce space
there's
laws?
Gotta
space
be,
cowboys, space bandits.
There's gotta be something.
Look them up. What are the space laws? You can't just say space laws. What are they? What are space laws?
Or look up who owns the moon. It would be kind of like the same concept.
If it's out of our Earth, if it's out of Earth, there's no laws.
You're right. Who's gonna come make you stop? Who?
America can't say Mars is ours, and Russia be like Mars is ours because Mars is Mars.
Well,
there's nobody owns Mars.
What if America
doesn't fucking make
here?
any sense?
Who is the owner of the moon?
Bam.
According to the United Nations Outer Space Treaty, told you, the people that run the fucking space around the Earth, signed by every spacefaring country, no nation can claim sovereignty over Earth's lunar satellites. That's just in regards to the moon.
So the moon is owned by nobody.
So China, Russia, Japan, America, and someone else all signed that treaty.
Everybody can land on it.
There's an international treaty saying that no country can lay claim to anything that's not on Earth. By another treaty, if you're not on any country's territory, maritime laws apply. So Mars is international waters. So as of now, it's treated the same as the ocean. So it's nobody's, but you can't stake claim to it.
Who's gonna stop him though?
Yeah,
He's right.
who's gonna
What if he
fucking
breaks
stop
that treaty? What'll happen?
There's no one to like. What are you gonna do?
Oh, he'll get fucked on. I mean, if
He says this is mine.
If Elon Musk
gonna do?
moved to Mars, moved everything of his to Mars, and just colonized Mars, and left nothing back on Earth, like didn't care about the money that he had on Earth or his companies or anything like that, then like they could cut him off, and they're not gonna blow him up. They're not gonna go blow up Mars. But
It's like a 2-year trip. They know they're coming. We'll see you in 2 years.
Realistically, he's not about to just get rid of his company and say fuck it and go live on Mars, he's going to be attached to Earth in a way.
The thing is,
so if he fucking tries to take over Mars, or anyone did, for instance, they would just they'd have a bounty out for them, and all their companies get shut down.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean fucking shit. Here's the thing: is that doesn't mean
it kind of does.
It doesn't mean shit. That's the fucking whoever has space labs. If Elon Musk, what the fuck's going on?
I don't know.
Did we just go off?
No, I think.
Oh,
no, it's just
so.
Sorry.
So, yeah, those are only by countries that have space facilities.
Sure. Well,
it's so if a country
they could add any country.
Yeah, but that's just among themselves. Like countries that aren't a part of the space program, they have a fucking say. Every country, anybody on Earth has a. This is where it's weird. You can't dictate what happens on something that is not in your control. Like I guess you could say all of space. You can't. It's all international waters. But if you fucking find a planet, you can't own everything.
The reason
if there's an alien species on another planet, you can't be like, well, that's international waters. You can't have that because you haven't reached our agreement.
The reason treaties exist, we're talking, international like peace treaties. We're talking the space thing. That's a treaty that nobody can take. The reason it exists is there's a certain amount of credibility. Anybody could do whatever they want. I could walk outside right now and wipe my dick on the window of your car. You could do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But there's repercussions to it.
Yeah, you might get
something. if you're America and you say, well, hey, Elon Musk is on the moon or on Mars, we're gonna crack a deal with Elon and we own Mars now. Fuck are you guys gonna do about it? We put rockets on Mars and shit, and then so anybody that tries to come in and stop us, we just blow them up in space and we're just on Mars.
Yep.
If that happens, we're gonna get cut off from the rest of the people in the treaty. That's why
maybe he did
power checks.
Yeah, but it's power checks by big countries. But all it takes is him to go to a third world country, build his whatever fucking space program that he wants, and then have all the materials himself.
That's weird, man.
It's a treaty made by humans. Because they don't want anybody to colonize another planet without their consent. Well, you can have fucking America on Mars. Right. You can have U.S. territory. That's stupid as fuck. Because we can't handle our own country. You're going to go fucking 2 years away to a different planet and then expect to run that shit there? Don't. The only dude that's interested in going there should be the one that owns it. If you're a country that is interested, maybe you should have an ability. You should have a say in it. If you're not a country that's interested in going, and you're not involved in any of it, I don't know how much money he's getting from other people, from other.
I'm sure he's getting a lot of funding for SpaceX.
And maybe that
probably most of it comes from private funders.
But if any of that's federal from any country, if any of that's
I bet America's. Maybe not.
Because they're not even giving money to NASA. They give shit to NASA. So why would they be giving money to him to go do his little space trip? That's what I'm saying.
Dude,
that's why if America was funding it, if all these countries were funding it, then I would understand. Be like, well, they all have a stake in the pot, so yeah, he can't own it. But it's he's the only one that seems to care about it. He's the only one doing anything about going there. He should be the only one that has a say so when he gets there. That's not. It's the same thing with the seascapes that I was talking about, these little sea pods that they're trying to build in deep sea. It's international. Nobody owns it. You could just build something in the middle of the sea, and nobody can say anything to you about it.
Yeah,
it's no one's territory.
Then if pirates come along and it's over.
Yeah, obviously, if pirates come along, you have nobody to call. You could try to call a country as an ally, but
Twitch chat is confirming, according to Twitch chat. They say no country can own a planet, but there's no law saying that a person can't own a planet. So Elon could hypothetically own a planet. But I just don't know, man. I guess we'll see.
Space race.
Because who the fuck? I mean, what's Elon's plan, right? We're talking Elon Musk. He's pretty much he's the head of operation. I think he probably has, I'd say 90% of the power. He really is the one calling the shots. It's not like him and a team. It's really him doing it. And paying people to do it. So if you give him absolute power over this whole operation, SpaceX, I wonder what his plan is. He's had to have thought about it. He's gonna go colonize Mars, which is his number one priority, is just to get people to be able to live there.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Yeah.
But do you think he's gonna want to just say this is my fucking planet?
I think it's for the betterment of the people. He would want to take charge. I don't know. He doesn't seem like the guy that would want to be a dictator.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like an asshole, but
everybody would, if he made it plausible to go there and live there, everybody would want to know how. And if he didn't give up those secrets, everybody would have to go through trial and error to get there and figure out how to habitate. So they would have to get him on board to be able to help them with their travels and their living situations. So he'd be in power anyways. They'd probably just, like, people that would want to go there would more than likely have him on board with anything that they did, and he would be put in power regardless.
I've got so many questions about it, man, that
Let's
we
get
can't
Elon Musk
answer.
on the phone.
Yeah, let me call Elon. There's so many questions, dude, because like even in the process of colonizing, if somebody kills somebody up there, what's the law, dude?
There's no law.
I imagine Elon's gonna have you kicked off.
Let's be real. They're probably all gonna. I mean, it's a one-way trip to death. Like, you ain't coming back.
Yeah.
You're not.
He would have to annex it from international space. He can't just say it's his. It's just all so confusing, man.
It is. We won't know until it happens.
Yeah,
And when it happens,
exactly.
we'll figure out some shit. But what if?
Dude, what a
if
time
you
to be alive, boys.
I mean, if he's able to, if he's able to have life on Mars and he doesn't need to come back here for resources for whatever reason, he's just able to live there by himself and he makes his own laws. He says, "Oh no, this is international space," or this is Mars. This is Elon Muskatopia. Like.
Fuck, man.
No country can come there. We'll nuke the fuck out of you in space. Bitch.
It's worrisome, dude.
It's a little worse. Nah, it's not worse.
I mean, I'm not worried.
It's
not Donald Trump doing it.
It's
but
because it's Elon Musk and it's not some weird dictator. I feel comfortable. Elon has shown that he is all about the people. He doesn't give a fuck about himself. He has so much money that he doesn't really care. He's just willing to give all of it back.
Donald Trump says the same thing, though.
What?
I got so much money, I don't care.
Elon Musk proves
doing.
it. Yeah, but he does things to show that
I know.
by not patenting his own inventions that are world changing. Anybody can have the technology. I don't care. I just want everybody to be able to have solar power. Don't fucking matter to me.
I wonder how much a camping trip would be on Mars.
Climb their biggest mountain. What, they got a mountain bigger than Everest?
They got mountains bigger than Everest.
Isn't it called Mount Olympic or Mount Olympia or something?
I don't know.
Speaking of Everest, you know Everest isn't the highest point on Earth?
I've heard about this. There's another mountain that technically from the center of the Earth is
Yep.
higher.
Yep, it's in like South America,
But not from sea level.
Not from sea level.
higher.
But that's what everybody says. Everybody's like, why the fuck would we count sea level? That's not if you're talking from the center, because the way the Earth is, Earth isn't completely round.
Right.
It's like shaped all fucking funky.
It's not like a flattened basketball. Like with a little bit of air out, it's wider than it is long.
There's like holes and like weird. I don't know how to describe it. You could probably find a real picture of how it's supposed to look. But since it has various features on it, that from the center of Earth, some mountains in South America are actually the highest point from the center.
That's
of Earth.
crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
if you go from sea level, and it's not Everest,
But
but
you can only start climbing from sea level. That's why they do. You can't climb a mountain from the center. of
yeah,
the Earth.
but if you're talking from the real highest point if you're talking about all of Earth,
But-
you'd have to go from the center.
But if you'd walk up Everest or up that other mountain, I can't remember the name of it either. You would walk farther if you went up Everest.
I don't think anybody's complaining. Nobody's
That's
arguing.
why.
Yeah,
That's
no,
why it's the highest.
nobody's arguing. I think they're just trying to make the point that the real, highest point on Earth.
yeah, I was listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson, I believe. He was talking about the Earth and talking about how it's not perfectly round. Because I don't know what show he was on. This older Neil deGrasse Tyson, and somebody was like, "Well, the Earth's not perfectly round," and he's like, "Well, relatively, if you look at how fucking big the Earth is, if the Earth was big enough to fit in our hand, it would be literally as smooth as a pool ball. We wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Like, so it's not perfectly round, but it's perfectly round. It's like." It's like when you look at a needle in a fucking microscope and it's like really broad and flat, like it's still sharp as shit, but it's just on such a large scale that it is really remarkably smooth. Like it's unbelievely smooth for how big it is. That's what she said.
Flat earthers.
Oh my goodness, I love flat earthers.
Oh, dude.
Flat earthers. And they say those images that you have from space, they're all CGI. They are CGI because we can't take a picture far enough away.
You gotta stitch them.
Yeah, you have to put them all together like that.
Yeah.
But that's like flat earthers' main argument. That's why we don't have any real pictures of Earth. They're all
So
CGI
weird.
pictures.
So weird.
You have
dude.
NBA players coming. I don't even
Oh,
know. I don't know what
man.
the fuck he's studying.
Kyrie Irving went to
Yeah, dude.
fucking like a good ass school, dude.
No, it's
It's
I heard
flat.
That.
Earth's flat.
How like? I mean,
Antarctica is a 2-mile wall around the Earth.
yeah,
Like, and then you can go up there, and then it's an infinite plane, and then there are other like,
Yeah.
Earth pockets.
yeah. Have you seen like the actual flat Earth theory of what the Earth is like? Like it's
I don't wanna
It's
hurt
like
my
perfectly
brain.
square on the bottom, and then it like the corners are raised up. Like Antarctica's all the way around. It's like raised up, and then it dips in, and then the center of the Earth is like dipped up again. It's like a little like mound in the middle, and it doesn't make any sense. But that's how they explain the curve of the Earth is that it is curved, but it's like got a flat bottom. You know, it's fucking ridiculous, dude.
It hurts my brain.
I mean, I don't know, man. I used to be when I was a teenager. I was really big into conspiracies because they're fun, and like I had this whole thing about what if none of this shit's real and it's all like it's literally just fake and you know the Earth. We've never fucking been to space at all, and space doesn't even exist because you and we've never seen space. We've seen pictures of space and shit,
Yeah.
but like no, the average person has never seen space. We've never seen a planet. We've never seen a picture of Earth. Whatever. We see images. So like it's technically within 1/1,000,000% possible that the Earth could be flat. But dude, it doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. It's like, you know, like it's possible that there's literally like a turd in my wall. It's possible. I've never been inside my walls. But
You
like
know.
it's not there. There's no one
You
has a
don't
turd
know.
in the wall.
There might be a turd in that
You
wall.
know? The fuck? It's just like it's people really stretch, dude, and really believe the flat Earth stuff.
The sun can't be 93 million miles away because if it was, you wouldn't be able to see it. So these people also have no concept of size. They also believe that the firmament we live in, like that contains, you know, the stars, the sun, the moon, and all that, that the rain comes from above that.
Yeah.
That God opens these.
It's insane.
I can't believe it, man.
It's like Greek mythology,
I
dude.
can't believe that people still believe in it.
Yeah.
I can't.
What's weird? Okay, so I want you to describe how
Flat? And you think nobody's ever found the other side?
No one's circumnavigated the globe north to south, even though we have east to west.
Yeah.
No one's done it north to
I
south.
mean-
That's why Antarctica is a wall.
Listen, how does it feel though being religious but also believing in science?
I'm
Gotta
How
be
is that?
tough.
I'm not gonna say like I know all the answers and that you know, I don't know exactly. Sometimes it doesn't always go together, but I don't necessarily believe that one disproves the other. Like,
What do you
alright,
mean?
so-
Okay, so the world's
All right.
not 10,000 years old. We know that.
Of course not.
That
because
just that's contradiction of
use
the
Exodus.
Bible.
Use Exodus though. All right. So the 7 days that the earth was made in was before. If the earth is being formed, there's no measurement of time. So that 7 days could be millions of years. Could be a billion years. It could
Yeah.
be. I mean, like, I guess I leave the possibility open. Of course, I could be wrong.
But
of course,
there were no humans then. Would
there
you
were no
agree?
humans there. Again,
So-
no measurement of time.
Yeah, so there's no measure. So how would you even know of the creation of an earth?
Don't.
You
It's
can't-
stories
but-
passed down. You got to take
that-
them as. But that's why you can't take it as a real 7 days either, because I mean you got to take these stories.
But
as
where do the 7 days?
figurative.
But where do the 7 days come from? That's what I'm trying to say.
They're being
it's
used figuratively,
from
metaphorically.
who though? Who?
Man. Man wrote the Bible.
Yeah, man wrote the Bible, but man wasn't around back then. So how would
It's
they?
words spoken through God through
Okay.
man.
Yeah. Nonsense. But what I
I'm not
will
gonna disagree
say,
that the Bible is a lot of crazy stuff in it.
yeah, I think really what's going on in the Bible and what's going on in pretty much every religious text ever, they're just stories that are passed down through generations that lose the detail. Like they're just different iterations of the same stories. And I never realized that until, as I used to just think like, oh, all religion's kind of just nonsense. They're just made up stories individually to explain stuff at any given time in Earth's existence. But what I realized when I was learning about, you know, the asteroids hitting Earth 11,000 years ago or whatever, and the Ice Age and the possibilities of civilizations before these huge population wipes, I realized like these fucking, if you look at pretty much any religious text, you look at the Bible, talking about the flood, it's all very like exemplary of stuff that is being found out about that actually happened physically on the Earth.
Yeah.
So we found out now that like 11,000 years ago there was a huge flood across, you know, half the fucking planet because of the ice age and the ice melting. And then you look at religious texts like the Bible, for instance, and they say it was a great flood that God brung, because at the time, that's all they knew how to tell the story.
Right.
And so, every few thousand years, all these religious texts start getting disproved because they seem more and more ridiculous, and then we write a new text with the same ideas and the same story. Maybe I'm talking in circles.
No, I totally understand what you're saying. The biggest problem with what you're saying, though, is that then religion at its core is just only based upon the things that we don't understand yet. And then as soon as we understand them, then we have to update the version to more to whatever we don't understand at that time. We didn't understand at that time what the fuck could cause a giant ass flood. We do now. So now there's an updated version of the fucking Bible. That's like a huge thing for me. It's when one of the biggest arguments that I get with people is how did everything start? Well, we don't know. God. Like, you can't just say like we don't know yet. We're trying to figure it out.
Yeah. But
until then, there's a lot of things that we didn't know before that we knew now that you also blamed God for, but now you don't because we know them. So if we come to a point when we know all of these things, what's your argument going to be then? I'm not saying you. I know you don't use that argument.
But the problem is like, say they do find out what caused the Big Bang. Well, then what caused that? What caused that? There is that argument that can be used.
Basically infinite.
Exactly.
Infinitely.
So
but,
I mean, like,
but that's not a valid argument. Just saying what caused that. We're on a constant hunt for truth, and you can't just say God because there's absolutely no validity to just saying that
I agree with that.
And believing it. Like, you can't just say it and say you have to, like, there's no reason to believe something that you have no proof of.
Yeah.
Like, at least with science, they're always trying to figure out what caused that. And if they come up, let's say that there is an answer to everything and we eventually come to it, then there is no more, well, what about this? They have that answer. Like,
is that a point you can actually come to, though? Is that possible?
We don't know yet. That's the thing. We don't know yet. And to say that any of that can just be God just because we don't know yet.
I agree with that.
It's an invalid argument in my opinion.
I
think
agree.
You can try to make that argument.
I'm trying to catch up on a Twitch chat. I think that we've got a viewer that is a flat Earth believer.
No way.
I think
They're trolling. You don't believe flat Earth. Get the fuck out of here.
Pretty much all the things that he's trying to. I don't know. Maybe he's just like.
I feel like you're trolling. You can't really believe Earth's
It's a
flat.
movement, man. It's like people.
It's
are
a
like,
real
I believe
movement.
it. Like,
Stop it. Just stop. Just don't believe it.
please.
I don't know, man. I wanted to acknowledge him because
What is he saying? I don't get what is he
he's
saying.
Like, how can a drone hover for 20 minutes in one spot if the world is spinning? It would move.
We're spinning with it.
We're spinning with it.
When
you're in a car,
don't yell at him, Matt.
Okay, no. When you're in a car and you go to lift your drink up, it's the same thing. You're moving 60 miles an hour with the car, and your drink's moving with you.
The atmosphere
yeah.
is spinning alongside with the drones. The air is moving at the same speed, so
Yeah.
it's staying.
The liquid isn't like just going directly down your throat like at 60 miles an hour from zero.
I think it's also a lot of it is scope because we're rotating. We're not going that fucking fast, dude. Like, I don't know. I just wanted to address that because I just realized what was happening.
I have never met a real flat earther. Well, obviously I didn't meet him now. I've never even got the chance
Well, now you got your.
That dude just made my day more than the Garth comment.
Well, see, the Garth comment was solid. That's a good example of what we're trying to do.
Everybody, but that's I guess that's what makes Earth beautiful is that you have all these different opinions.
He might not be. Maybe I'm throwing him in. But that's what that's what he said was those things. So. I don't know. As far as the religion thing goes, I don't know. I feel the same way, dude. Like, I think it's just we tell the stories as best we can, and then when science evolves enough to learn something new that discredits an old story, like an old religious story, we go okay, and then we write a new religious story that's a little more vague. So, for instance, you go back to Norse mythology, which is as old as I know anything about, truly. They said we literally lived on a tree, and there were 7 planes of existence, and the rain came from a different plane of existence above us. Then when scientists said, well, no, there's nothing above us, then that kind of got, that doesn't make any fucking sense. And then you got Christianity coming in, for instance, saying that, no, rain is science, but like, God made the earth in 7 days. And now that we're starting to say, well, that's not possible, that's not physically possible, people are starting to look into that, for instance, the 7 days thing as, it's figurative. And that'll slowly, so the way that the literature is written is slowly always gets faded out.
It's devolving from whatever it was originally.
Doesn't necessarily mean that a God is not real, but the literature is just always being disproven across the board.
What can you expect from a book written by man, though? Like,
right.
In a different language.
I don't take the Bible like
in
it's
a language
book about being good. Like, it's basically a book to follow, like, for an example of good morals, maybe.
No, I agree. I think
the earth is round, it's gravity that's gay. Thanks for the input.
I wonder if he is a Christian, because I do know that the flat earth movement stems a lot from religion.
Well, he's not. He concedes that the earth's round. It's a gravity thing, but you're right though.
I agree. That's the one thing I think you can't deny is that when religion ultimately came to be, it was a way to live your life in an unbarbaric way. It taught you a lot of good things. At the core of all religions, I think there's a lot of good morals to come by. I mean, with the Bible, you got treat thy neighbor like they treat themselves.
Right.
Things like that.
Moral compass.
Yeah, it's a good moral compass. Yeah. But as time's gone on and we've gotten into this place where we've evolved now, I think a lot of those things don't apply anymore because that was all written in a time when we were very primitive compared to what we are now. And I think that those same beliefs conflict nowadays. So it's real hard to live by the same code of morals and ethics. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's real weird.
I can see that.
Again, it's not so hard for me though to believe in all the science because I admit I'm not a big practicing guy. Like I don't go to church or any of that. And I mean, like it's easy. Like I follow a lot of the science like stuff, Facebook, watch YouTube videos about it and all that. So I mean, it's easy because I don't practice a lot, but also like my religion is something I generally do keep private. Like man, we have conversations like this sometimes, but like it's not generally like I don't go up to people and do what you said. Oh, it's because of God or oh, I'm having a great day. God blessed me. All that, like all that's nonsense. Like I truly believe it. Like if there is a God up there and all that, I don't believe he interacts with our daily life.
Yeah, and I can respect that more than the Bible thumpers, but
it is more about just living good, being a good person, and if there is a heaven and there is a hell, then so be it. And then if there's not,
that's good.
At least you lived a life being a good person.
He's like the most rational, reasonable Catholic, right?
I appreciate that. Yeah, because some Catholics are the worst. Dude.
Yeah,
Catholics can be real bad.
Yeah, so.
Like, oh, it's a sign from God because they see my tattoo, and I'm like,
but there's not a whole lot of reasonable, rational, religious folk.
People. That's just the truth.
You have to accept you could be wrong. That's the problem with religion. You need to look into it. You need to not just take a book and take its word for it. You need to investigate.
Yeah,
like, it's something you can't just sit there and just listen to like garbage. Like you have to do your own looking.
Yeah, my DJ, my old roommate. His grandma is like super religious, right? She's super Christian, and she used to come over every once in a while, and she'd wear like, fucking neck to toe dresses because she didn't want to show any skin, and she was hilarious. No, she was Christian, but she was just real old school woman who like tied her hair up in a bun and like was super polite all the time.
Yeah.
And we would watch movies. We'd bring her over and we'd watch movies, and there was one girl. I don't even remember who it was. It was a black girl. I don't know if it was... What's that girl? Leslie... Jones? I think. There was some girl... Maybe it wasn't her. There's some actress that cut her hair. She was like almost bald and had it blonde. It's a black lady. And, his grandma's black. She was like, she going to hell. And she started going off. We were watching this movie. It's a fictional fucking movie. And she started going off, but that girl's going to hell. She needs to repent. She started praying for her on the couch. Holy. She was praying while the movie was going for that girl for cutting her hair. She had super long fucking hair. Because, not cut as a woman, cutting your hair to her is a sin. It's like all this really irrational shit, but like she's so old you can't tell her otherwise, and it's so crazy. There's some people like that, and there's some people like Darren.
But that's
like,
outdated thinking. That's outdated thinking, and that's you're trying to live this life based off these morals and ethics that were written in a time when we were fucking shitting into one big hole in the middle of the city.
Sounds like the life, honestly.
And fucking writing on leather skins, and we were getting sick all the time, and the general life expectancy rate was far lower than it is now.
Yeah.
Even though infancy deaths kind of mess with that, because infants died at such a higher rate.
Mortality rates were higher.
So it kind of fucks with the mortality rate, but generally we're at a different time in life.
Getting better, dude.
And you can't obviously it's a fucking movie, so none of it's real. So for someone to take that seriously and start praying for somebody,
she's praying, dude, while the movie was going.
It's a little silly.
Yeah.
A little silly.
I don't know, man.
I don't get it.
Well.
But, you want to wrap it up?
I guess we should wrap it up. We got to get ready to go film. So Matt and I don't know, you're doing the rest of the day, Darren, but we're going to film a commercial for Blank Sheet Art.
Promotional video for Detroit
dude.
Academy of Martial Arts in Troy, Michigan.
Yep, we started filming this commercial 2 months ago now, and we finally are wrapping up. Surprisingly, it took a long time because of scheduling, but we got to do that shit. I got to edit this video, edit the audio, put it up on SoundCloud. So I guess we should probably chop it up now.
Skedaddle.
You guys know we already talked about what I'm gonna go do after this. So
what are you gonna do, Darren?
I'm gonna go smoke marijuana.
Is it legal, Darren?
Smoke.
It is legal.
That's what he says. He says it's legal, dude. So we're gonna leave you guys at that Twitch chat and Blight Me, our Twitch chat #1 viewer. Thanks for sticking around. Fucking, he's going off about gravity in chat, dude. He hates gravity, dude. He's not a fan.
That's real though.
That's awesome.
It's a real thing.
I'm glad. I had a lot of fun today. Actually, this is the first time we've had a lot of inclusion with the Twitch chat. Actually, must be because of Darren's good looks,
It's
dude.
Darren.
Must be.
Must
Darren.
be Darren.
It must be.
If you guys are listening to this on the internet without our faces, don't be afraid to stop by when we stream this. We do this every week on Saturdays, usually at noon. Today we did it at 2. Whatever. Check us out on Saturdays so that you can get in on the fucking conversation. If you're a Mormon, we'd love to have you. If you're a flat earther, we'd love to have you. But we have to leave now. So,
Okay.
any last parting words, boys?
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, you're
Thanks
welcome,
for
Darren.
coming
hey,
along.
Thanks for coming,
Darren.
actually.
Yeah.
It's nice having a guest.
We've been trying to get you on for a little bit now, so it was pretty fun. I hope you had fun.
I did have fun. Sorry it took so long.
How long have we been on here? 2 hours?
2 hours, yeah.
2 hours.
The camera's not so weird. It's
No,
not
it's
so
not
bad.
so weird.
It's really
Yeah,
not.
you
Once
forget.
you get into it,
Once you
talk.
forget, you just don't, you don't even
I may have
realize.
looked at it a couple of times on
Yeah.
accident, but like
It's all good. You guys are blurry anyway.
Yeah, you're out of
Uh,
focus. But yeah, no.
All right. See you guys next week, man. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Peace.